Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 800U. Get ready for incredible experiences from this ultra-connected chip. Featuring dual 5G SIM for 5G connectivity that's always ready to go. High-quality voice and video calls. 5G carrier aggregation that keeps you connected. By keeping the 5G modem in the chip and using MediaTek's 5G ultra-safe power savings technology, we've created the world's most power-efficient smartphone 5G modem, boosting your battery life. With faster peak speeds, the Dimensity 800U accelerates launch time for your favorite games and apps. Use your voice assistant for scheduling and reminders in the language you prefer. With Dimensity 800U, smartphones feature supersized cameras and HDR imaging. Plus, its integrated AI processor helps enhance pictures and 4K videos in day or night. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 1000 Plus. Our flagship 5G integrated chip gives you immense CPU performance, stunning graphics, and incredible AI. You can game flawlessly, load apps faster, and multitask smoother, all on 5G. Pick up your camera and shoot stunning HDR pictures and videos, or go out at night with perfect results every time. Benefit from powerful AI and the latest MediaTek Hyper-Engine gaming technology. This predictive networking enhances your smartphone experience and dramatically reduces latency, provides rapid responsiveness that shaves milliseconds off touchscreen input, and enhances power management that lets you game longer. While ultra-fast displays at your fingertips give you the edge, MediaTek Mirror Vision display technology brings cinema-grade visuals into video streaming and playback. Use 5G connectivity that's both fast and power efficient. MediaTek 5G UltraSave is built in to extend your battery life, while dual 5G SIM support gives you 5G that's always ready to go and make voice and video calls with the highest quality. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. We're bringing 5G to everyone, across mobile, automotive, IoT, in the home, and beyond. Introducing MediaTek Dimensity. MediaTek Dimensity is at the forefront of powering the 5G revolution. It's about what we can achieve when barriers between devices disappear and connectivity becomes seamless and instantaneous. It will change market, industries, and our everyday.
Through Dimensity, we're spurring product, app, and service innovations that will enable the true possibilities of 5G connectivity. When you see Dimensity, know that MediaTek has built an unrivaled mix of technologies. The industry's fastest 5G connectivity, super fast processors, and incredible gaming. Exciting multimedia, the industry's most powerful AI cores, and impressive imaging. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible.
G is for gaming. Introducing MediaTek Helio G95. It's paired with MediaTek's Hyper Engine game technology, which goes beyond the chip and tunes your whole smartphone. Because every millisecond matters in the gaming world. Whether you're streaming video, chatting with friends, or playing games, you can rely on us for responsive experiences that always impress. With in-chip innovations, all your wireless gear will connect reliably and retain their best performance. Maximize your everyday mobile experience with advanced 4G connectivity and dual SIM. Improved video playback quality with cinema-grade visuals and support for multiple virtual assistants. Embrace AI super resolution for streaming video and teleconferencing, saving your 4G data and battery life. Capture incredibly detailed photos and superb night shots. Integrated with these advanced technologies, MediaTek Helio G95 does the hard work, ensuring your smartphone always keeps up with you, so that you can focus on the moment.
लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, देवी और सज्जन और हमारे सारे दर्शकों का एक बार फिर से स्वागत है मीडियाटेक प्रेजेंट्स द फ्री फायर गेमिंग मास्टर्स क्वेस्ट फॉर द बेस्ट 2021 पावर्ड बाय जियो गेम्स में। मेरा नाम है फ्लूकी, मेरे साथ है सॉल्टी और हमारे चार लवली ऑब्जर्वर्स रोली, कानेकी, बीटीएल, बिग फैट पैंडा एंड डैन द बॉट। और हम हमारे पहले बेस्ट ऑफ 7 के मैप पे आ चुके हैं। ये बरमूडा पे हमें लेके जाएगा। सोलोस का टूर्नामेंट ऑफ कोर्स एंड फुल लॉबी है दिस टाइम अराउंड सॉल्टी। 48 प्लेयर्स इन सोलोस। दिस शुड बी वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग। प्लेन का पाथ शुरू हो रहा है, सेंटोसा से खत्म हो रहा है ग्रेवयार्ड एंड ऑब्जर्वेटरी के बीच में। एंड द हाइट योर लूट जोन दिस टाइम अराउंड इज सरप्राइजिंगली इन सेंटोसा।
And we have only two players in that particular island, which does surprise me to be honest. But expecting a full lobby, so therefore there has to be a lot of gunfight and a lot of chaos. I'm pretty excited to watch this unfold because generally we have seen that solos matches, they're pretty chaotic. Third parties, fourth parties, fifth parties. We've seen everything happen in solo games. I guess in this one as well, we might expect something like that.
Yeah. I mean, with a full lobby, I'm certainly expecting to see a lot of action brewing out early on. Now, the northwest corner of the map near Bullseye Observatory is jam-packed with players. We're going to see a lot of action there. Looks like first blood has been drawn. Evil is going to be able to kill off Deadshot, and yeah, it's going to be the start of that. Lekin here Rocky, is he AFK? No, okay, he's not AFK. Unke यहाँ पे double vectors हैं. He's perched up inside the L-shaped house. Let's see what's going to happen in this game. It should be an interesting one. Should be a fun one too. And yeah, Mr. Brackets यहाँ पे. Well, हाथ में मैक्स 7 है, लेकिन ये रेंज पे इट्स नॉट द बेस्ट गन टू यूज। तो देखते हैं कि वो ये सिचुएशन से अपने आप को कैसे निकालते हैं। एल्सवेयर ऑन द मैप टाइम टर्नर यूज कर लिया था एक मेंबर, एक प्लेयर ने, एंड या इट वाज आर फ्यूरी का टाइम टर्नर, एंड विद दैट ही इज गोना बी एबल टू फाइंड अ किल। But yeah, Salty, 46 players remaining. It hasn't even been 2 minutes or even 1 minute since all the players have dropped, and already we're seeing 2 kills on the map. And I have to say, this map, I feel like solos is a lot more action, and they're a lot more exciting than duos because there's constant action, and you can never really tell who's gonna come out on top just because of the sheer number of players that are in a game.
Certainly, I guess the solo matches are much more fun, exciting, as well as intriguing as compared to the duos, because there is constant action and you can never really expect what's going to happen because there are so many players, and when every other player is pitched up against each other, things get even more difficult for everyone, and it gets interesting for us as viewers as well as casters. When there's a duos game, certainly the action is there, but it comes in the later stages. But in solos, all the players that come in front of each other, they're meant for that. They're meant for gunfights. That doesn't really happen in duos where, they take their time to rotate, they take their time to do a lot of stuff. Here, it's a frenzy of gunfights. It's a frenzy of players. It's a frenzy of different colors we see all around the map. I guess all of this action is going to come right down to the wire when it comes to the final circle, because only a few of these select 50 players are going to survive. Jester taking another kill, I guess, in some part of the map itself. So many players in every single part of the map. It gets so difficult. Anurag, best, or probably Anurag the best. He's certainly not the best today, I guess. Have been deleted from the server by player number 33. I guess he will have to, try next time around.
Absolutely salty, and the best thing about solos is कि ये काफी punishing mode है। इसमें आप किसी को blame नहीं कर सकते, आपके पास सिर्फ अपने आप है blame करने के लिए, क्योंकि आपको अकेला ही यहाँ पे victory जीतना होता है। And उसकी वजह से मुझे कई बार लगता है कि solos में जो players होते हैं, they come up with these various different strategies to try and win. I'm not sure exactly best कौन सी है, but I have heard कि many a times players they'll just drop in towards the center और फिर वो वहीं पे hold करेंगे. Doesn't matter what resources they find, they just let the action pan out and they hope कि circle उनको favor करता है. It becomes a game of minimizing risks essentially, क्योंकि अगर आप अपने risks minimize कर सकते हो, then you're more likely to survive longer, and you're likely to not only take less risk but also find better opportunities to capitalize on. कई बार क्या होता है कि players सिर्फ एक ही approach में फंस जाते हैं. Either they're too focused on creating their own chances or they're too focused on minimizing risks. As a result, हम लोग को players मिलते हैं who either take too much initiative or take no initiative at all. Finding that right balance is something that these players need to be able to do, क्योंकि अगर वो एक balance find कर सकते हैं अपने आप के लिए, only then they can be able to get themselves to the top spot. तो मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि यहाँ पे जो ग्रैंड फाइनल्स हमारी जो विनर्स है, उनके सिर्फ टॉप 8 प्लेयर्स को प्राइज मिलेगा। वो प्राइज क्या है मैं थोड़ा गुप्त रखने वाला हूँ, आपको एंड में बताऊंगा एग्जैक्टली। प्लेयर्स तो जानते हैं लेकिन हमारे दर्शकों को नहीं पता, तो हमारे दर्शकों को वेट करना पड़ेगा आज थोड़ी देर तक। मैं मैप 6 तक रिवील करूंगा कि क्या होने वाला है, लेकिन ऑफ कोर्स उसके पहले अगर सॉल्टी का मन किया तो सॉल्टी भी बोल देगा आप लोग को। आई मीन मैं उसके बारे में तो गारंटी नहीं दे सकता, लेकिन हाँ, अगर आप जानना चाहते हैं क्या होने वाला है तो थोड़े टाइम के लिए बने रहिए, हम कुछ ही मैप्स में रिवील करेंगे कि ये टॉप 8 प्लेयर्स को क्या मिलेगा।
Certainly, certainly. I'm not going to reveal Floki. Uh, you don't have to worry about your plan being spoiled, nonetheless. But I do agree with the fact that the solos game is all about minimizing risks, and also about the fact that dropping at the center and holding there. It is a pretty good strategy, because considering what solo game is all about, you really want to make the least amount of noise that is possible, because the kills are not really going to help you. I mean, just imagine 10 kills giving you 100 points, and being there with 0 kills and fifth position giving you around like what, 400. I'm not even sure how much, but that's closer. It's somewhere around 300 or 400. So definitely that is something which you would go for. I always have one particular goal in life, and that is always to chase higher goals and strive for these particular goals which are more rewarding. And that is something which these players should do as well. When placements reward you much more, you should go for placements instead of taking unnecessary fights. Even though fights like these, fights like between player number 6 and player number 34, are sometimes necessary. You want to get those grenades popped up, you want to get those heads blown off as well if they're in the same compound as you, because we've always seen if two people stay on the same roof, there is always going to be trouble.
Absolutely salty, and because this is a solos mode, there's no partner to team up with. There's no one else who's gonna tell you कि यहाँ से कोई player आ रहा है. You're gonna have to yourself decide whether you want to kill the guy who's in your house and then move on to the next fight or what. And being third party is such a huge problem in this mode that I think the only real way you can deal with it is to have some close range weapon like a double barrel shotgun or double vectors or an MP40, anything that gives you the oomph and the upper hand in close range. क्योंकि अगर आपके पास close range advantage है, then you can hold those tight spaces, you can hold those tight angles. Overlord फिलहाल उनके हाथ में MP40 है. Let's see if he's able to play against player number 9. Well, player number 9 के हाथ में 1014 है salty, and that 1014 is certainly doing a lot of work. लेकिन यहाँ पे Overlord ने inhaler यूज करके अपनी HP थोड़ी बढ़ा ली है, तो he's going to be able to take this fight again if he wants to. Sanu को थोड़ा और टाइम चाहिएगा क्योंकि उनके हाथ में सिर्फ medkits है, and he's still not healing, I think, क्योंकि okay, now he's going to be able to heal himself back up, and he's going to use the second medkit as well. तो दोनों players अपनी HP काफी बढ़ा पाएंगे यहाँ पे, and देखते हैं कि Overlord यहाँ पे fight continue करेंगे या नहीं.
Having the right combination of close range as well as long range weapon is going to help you a lot. Not really sure if mid range weapons are that much useful in this particular mode as well. Sanu kind of pressing the trigger right at the exact moment when the other player turned his back on him. That was really well timed though, but that was very much unfortunate for the other player as well. Nonetheless, I guess what I was saying is that having the right combination of weapons is very important, because you might expect players to come in from a particular point, but then when players pop out of nowhere, you have to have those close range weapons, something like a one impact shotgun that can kill your opponent with one good headshot. That is something which you always need to have, because you probably can't depend on your aim every time, but when there are these crunch situations, you have to be on your toes and have to have something that can pack a punch. Here we can see team player number 5 as well as player number 7 go Royal Rumble all across the glue walls. This is certainly going to be very difficult, but then the shotgun once again comes out, something which I was talking about. One jump shot, one accurate shot, and your opposition will be out of the server, will be deleted forever. This is something which you always need, because in crunch situations like these, you can't really rely on your aim down sight. You can't really rely on scoping them down and spraying them down. It's not always going to happen. So certainly, weapons like these, those short range impact weapons, they're going to hurt your opposition a lot more. Also in the long range weapons, you need some sniper rifles. If you see a free kill, take it.
Absolutely salty. I mean, this is why I have a bit of a problem with those mid-range weapons, like you mentioned, Parafil, SKS. A couple of these, semi-automatic guns. They don't really tend to find a place in the solos mode at the very least. क्योंकि आप Parafil से आप mid-range fight तो ले सकते हो, but what about long range? Like at long range, a sniper is gonna outclass you. At short range, an SMG or a shotgun is gonna outclass you. So ऐसे situations में आके, I feel like those rifles are just not versatile enough to actually be able to help you. Now, अगर आपके हाथ में M4 है या AK-47 है, or if you have something of that sort, that can certainly give you a huge advantage because AK-47 has high damage and M4 has fairly decent accuracy. So long range pe those weapons can work too with a decent enough scope, but not all those weapons can work. Now Sanu ke haath mein M249 hai. This is a weapon I don't see very often, but it is better of the two LMGs that are available in the game. देखते हैं कि वो इसको अच्छे से इस्तेमाल कर पाएंगे यहाँ पे या नहीं, क्योंकि लॉन्ग रेंज पे LMG यूज करना थोड़ा मुश्किल हो सकता है. Fire rate and recoil little bit hard to control, but the rewards are also pretty good. I mean, it gives you damage, it gives you good fire rate, whatnot, and as a result, like it's just easier to use. I mean, sorry, it's not easier to use, but it's more rewarding to use.
Yeah. Definitely, once again, Sanu up against in front of another player this time around. Let's see if the shotgun actually plays dividends. Once again, trying to go for the jump peak, but then this time Luffy hits the shot first and takes his opponent out. We've seen Ariash yesterday. Let's see if he can perform today as well. Dragon is someone whom I probably don't recognize from yesterday's games. Do you actually know this guy?
Yeah, I remember Drago.
I'm
I
not
remember Drago. He was playing in the semifinals and he had a pretty decent performance. I mean, he was a top 6 or top 7. I remember seeing his name there. So this guy is definitely good at Free Fire. But the question is against all the 48 players, which are supposedly some of the best there are, because these guys have made it all the way from the semifinals and the open qualifiers to here. Well, he's gonna have to do a lot of work. I remember Money Kicks and Radhe Bhai ke beech mein bhi ek fight हुआ. Money Kicks was also a pretty good player who had really good positioning in his solos, लेकिन वो काफी जल्दी eliminate हो गए this time around. Radhe Bhai, of course, ex-professional player. That guy is gonna be on the money. उनको इतना आसानी से मारना मुश्किल, इतना आसानी से मारना I mean मुश्किल होता है. लेकिन yeah, I was trying to make that sentence work, but I was like, wait, आसानी से मुश्किल से, like what the hell am I saying? So yeah, I just decided to put an end to that. But for the time being, Fort Chester, ouch. Yeah, his life has also been put to an end. And the man who's responsible for it is X-Mania. Now, X-Mania is also a decent player. हम लोग जब solos cast कर रहे थे, वो भी काफी अच्छा खेल रहे थे. And I hope कि this time around उनकी performance थोड़ी better होगी, क्योंकि उनको top 8 में आना पड़ेगा Salty if he wants the coveted secret grand prize. लेकिन क्या है ना कि अगर X-Mania ऐसे ही continue करते रहेंगे, if he continues to have that sort of not as much of a standard performance, if he just keeps playing I don't know, a little bit recklessly, then he could very easily be taken out.
True. And X-Mania is that kind of a player who plays a bit recklessly, I guess. The only thing that you can do with such players is just let them express themselves on the field. If you try and conserve some of the players, it can be more, it can be actually worse for such type of players. Some players, the more aggressive they play, I guess, the better sometimes they prove themselves. And that is something which is really important. It happens in every sport. You have these particular characters who are just out of the world when you let them express themselves, but when you try and hold them down and throw maturity as well as wisdom at them, I guess they don't really perform that well. And X-Mania is those kind of players. His natural flair is something which is a natural gift, and letting him play is probably the best thing that he can do. Bullet Raja, though, trying his shotgun once again, connecting one shot, dealing a lot of damage. The shield has been popped up as well. Both these players will try and heal themselves up Friday using the glue wall to separate both these two players. But then comes up Ariash and once again trying to climb that glue wall and take Bullet Raja from top. But nonetheless, it doesn't really matter because Friday with the grenade out of nowhere has taken the kill. And Ariash doesn't even know, has no clue about it, what has happened right now.
Yeah, I think उनको समझ में नहीं आया exactly क्या हुआ, but at least out of that engagement he's able to get a double barrel shotgun. उनके हाथ में treatment gun है. Now I'm not sure if this is the best idea in the world. You can't really aim your treatment gun at your own foot and try to heal yourself back up. That's not something that can happen. So yeah, unfortunately that treatment gun is going to be useless. Maybe if he finds a hand cannon later on, he can upgrade to that, लेकिन देखते कि ऐसा होगा कि नहीं. Third circle has shown itself salty. There are 27 players still remaining in the mix, and I have to say, all of these players, they are looking like as if they've bought their A game. मतलब everybody wants to get the coveted grand prize. Nobody is really looking to come in 12th or come in 11th or come in 10th. They're just trying to go for it and be in the top 8 because that's where. I mean, that's where the prestige lies. That's where the honor of being known as some of the best solo players in India lies. And all of these players, they're all striving for that. Drago has the Max 7 at close range, but looks like Asim is going to be able to eliminate him. His Max 7 range superior. But Let's see what Luffy is capable of doing. Abhi unke haath mein parafil thi. It's really good at mid range, but with the zone close again, he will have to engage in the close range area, and the inhaler is going to be used. He's going to be able to heal himself back up using all of his glue walls to try and get in. He is putting up a decent amount of cover for himself, but he will have to take this fight eventually, Salty. And the Max 7 at close range, it does do a fair amount of work. Now, thankfully, unki HP काफी बढ़ गई, courtesy of the inhalers he's taken. He's continuing to take more, but Kallu will peek out and finish him off with the Groza. That's going to be the end of that. Kallu, with Laketa's ability, is going to have some more HP to work with. And yeah, with every kill he gets, he's going to get stronger.
Certainly. And once again, I guess with the fourth circle coming in, we've breezed past a lot of the players. We started off with 48, and right now we're left with only 19 players. I guess all of these 19 players, they've had kills. They actually mean they're playing to win, and that actually encourages me a lot, because these players, they're putting up a very good show in front of us. All of these players, the 1v1s that we have seen, those are quality 1v1s. It's not like, some of them are kind of having fun, some of them are kind of being serious. It's like all of the 1v1s that I've seen, I mean, at least everyone has tried to win once again. He probably had an M4 in his hand and also a shotgun. Definitely good at close range. I'm not really sure if the shotgun is going to help him in such an open area when he probably will have to shoot at a very long distance. He has a visual on player number 6, but then the glue wall has been popped. Definitely it was important because a lot of visual on him. Jannu G, Deepu Rawat, he was the leader of yesterday in one of the best of threes, and certainly he has a lot of potential to move forward. He definitely does not have the support of the blue circle though, and Varun on top of the L-shaped house, he can actually deal a lot of damage. Jannu G, he has to do something extraordinary to find himself inside the house, and he did do that. He used a glue wall and pushed himself further inside the L-shaped house, and right now I guess he will try and take Varun out of the top, out of the terrace, and take the house all under his own control. But that is probably not going to help because the circle is not on the L-shaped house. It is completely out in the open. So therefore, anyone who is trying to fight it out over here, I guess only few of these particular players are going to make it inside the final circle. Just look at it, Floki. Player number 24, 13, 17, 19, all of these are going to square off, and only one or probably two of them are going to enter the final circle, because otherwise there's going to be a lot of options for gatekeeping. Jannu G doing exactly that. The grenade blasted the player off of the server, and right now only 3 players remain in this location. Once again, there is a lot of fight going on. Jannu G taking the second player out. I guess it was Varun who came in from the terrace, but eventually he'll meet his grave because Asim will finish him off.
Yeah. Asim getting that kill, now he can continue to go forward. Let's see if he's able to get more of on his tally, because he's going to need as many points as possible to reach that coveted top 8 spot. Now Radhebai has the M249, so at this distance, not the best weapon, but maybe if he can get closer, he can make it work. Kamina Pannai, in the meantime, is going to be deploying the glue wall and holding on to his position. 4 players still remaining, all at the edge of the circle, Salty, so it's going to come down to who can keep the other one outside the zone. And when the circle starts closing in the next few seconds, it's going to be a free-for-all. Subin, dekhte hain ki wo kya kar sakte hain. In the meantime, Kamina Pannai, abhi bhi yahan pe khade hain. He's going to go out of the glue wall and get tagged up a little bit, but he should be able to heal himself back up before the zone goes down. But Radhebai, smelling blood in the water, wants to take down the glue wall. The second shot's going to come in, and now Kamina Pannai is completely exposed. The time turner is going to come through, lekin Radhebai par bhi firing ho rahi hai. Subin is going to be the one doing that, and Radhebai, oh no, he tries to peek out, and Radhebai is going to be knocked out by Kamina Pannai. And just like that, Subin, who started a fight he didn't want to be a part of, is also going to go down. Evil FF, taking advantage of this all, just chilling for the time being, is the first person to claim the booyah, Salty, and 600 points, along with all the kills he got, belong to him. This man, yeah, he played it so patiently towards the end, not even concerned about all the firefights happening. He took his own sweet time, waited for the opponents to make a mistake, and as soon as he saw, I believe it was Subin, moving out, he was able to secure his kill.
Certainly, he was really patient. He was there like a genius. He knew that the players are going to be impatient. They're going to move out of this circle and their zone, and they will try and kind of overextend themselves, and he waited for that. He waited for them to come out of their covers, and he beautifully utilized that opportunity and got himself kills as well as a booyah. This fight, it was one of the first things to start off this game itself. Overlord trying to be very aggressive on player number 9. I don't really remember who came out on top. I believe it is Sanu, because Sanu was lasting much longer in this particular match. I guess it was, yes, I remember it right now. It was that moment, I guess. He knew, he...
Yeah.
It was at that
certainly
moment he
did.
knew he.
Boy, Salty. It's like we're reading each other's minds over here. But much like we're reading each other's minds over here, Radhebhai had a very good read on what Money Kicks was doing. I have to say, Money Kicks, he's the guy we're going to be looking out for along with Radhebhai in this tournament because he certainly had a very good showing so far. But if he wants to keep moving forward, then he'll have to put in a lot more work because these players, they're not to be trifled with. These are really good Free Fire players. And if you want to beat them, then you really got to bring your A game. But yeah, lots of highlights to work with, this being the solos mode, of course. I mean, there are so many kills that occur all over the map. We have pretty much, I mean, I gotta say, you know, the people who are making the highlights are gonna be quite happy. They're gonna be spoiled for choice with these extreme number of kills that occur each game. Like it's actually so hard to pick out, you know, which ones you want to put in, which ones you want to leave out.
Yeah. I mean, there were certainly a lot of good moments in this one. This one probably the best of them. The Battle of Four. It was supposed to be a four-way affair, but then I believe it was Evil FF who just completely converted it out of his own sheer brilliance. Subin tried and taken so much shot on Radhebhai, but then it was outshined by Kamina Pannai, who came in at the right moment, got the headshot and got the kill for himself as well. Subin will actually try and peek out right now. I guess Evil FF got both of the last two kills. Both of those players went out of their covers when the circle kicked in. Evil FF didn't really move an inch, and he just pounced on those kills like a tiger, and definitely like the king of the jungle. He is at the top of the peak, or rather the top of the pile, whatever you want to say it. Evil with 700 points and 100 kill points definitely will be up there with a very healthy lead. Though it is a 40 points, but I guess he'll be happy because Subin is way ahead. There is a 100-point buffer between second and third, and Kamina Pannai with 520 points, there's a 40-point buffer once again.
Absolutely salty. लेकिन अगर आप जानना चाहते हैं कि इनमें से कौन से प्लेयर टॉप तक पहुंचेंगे तो आपको और वेट करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि हम एक छोटा सा ब्रेक लेके वापस आएंगे गेम नंबर 2 के साथ. तब तक आप देख रहे हैं MediaTek presents the Free Fire Gaming Masters Quest for the Best 2021 powered by JioGames. मैं और salty एक छोटा सा ब्रेक लेके गेम नंबर 2 के साथ वापस आएंगे. Ladies and gentlemen, देवी और सज्जन और हमारे सारे दर्शकों का एक बार फिर से स्वागत है. MediaTek presents the Free Fire Gaming Masters Quest for the Best 2021 powered by JioGames में. मेरा नाम है फ्लोकी, मेरे साथ है Salty, Roly, Big Fat Panda, Kaniki BTL and Dan the Bot. और हम हमारे Best of 7 के second map पे आ चुके हैं कालाहारी पर. This time plane की उड़ान शुरू होगी from the northern part of the map से लेके the sub तक, which is going towards the southern part of the map, bisecting the map in half in a north-south direction. देखते हैं teams किधर drop करने की कोशिश करते हैं. Stone Ridge is going to be the high-tier loot zone this time around. And yeah, we've seen two people dropping in towards Refinery. Average Chandu dropping in pretty early over here. And I have to say, you know, solos में usually plane बहुत ही जल्दी उड़ना बंद कर देती है because everybody tries to drop early and get to their preferred drop locations ASAP.
Yeah. Certainly, I guess getting a drop locations early is really important in this particular mode because you want the weapon on your hand as soon as possible, because as soon as you drop in, you'll find yourself in between enemies, and that means that you need to have your guns ready. Meanwhile, I guess Money Kicks is the one who probably got the first blood in this match itself. One player has already been deleted off the server right now. In the high tier loot zone, we can find two players, Radhebai as well as player number 42. I can't really read the name at that particular point. I guess I need to get my glasses checked, but up high did get the second kill of the game itself. So right now, Oldhampton is probably under the control of player number 29. He does not have any company whatsoever. Player number 21 as well as 38, they're at peace with each other. I don't really see them taking any shot against each other. So definitely there is a much awaited peace. But then this is SNTFF, and certainly there is no peace in Santa Catarina because Bullet Raja is being shot with bullets right now, and I'm not really sure if that is what the name means.
Yeah. Bullet Raja. Ideally you're going to be the guy who's showering other people with bullets, not the one
Yes,
who's
exactly.
being showered with bullets. But I guess in this situation, irony is a fine thing. But average Chandu, I wonder what he can do. His name suggests he's average, but he's made it to the grand final, so he's anything but average, I gotta say, I'm hoping that we can see some unknown players come out on top and make a name for themselves in the Free Fire community. I think everyone's going to be quite happy to see some new faces and some new players in here. But
Yeah, certainly.
towards the sub Salty, IDFC Yash and player number 6, both facing off against each other for the time being, though. We're going to turn our attention towards confinement.
Yeah, Star. We've seen this with this particular player, the Star. He's been really composed. Someone who is not that aggressive in a solo game is something which is hard to find. We've seen so many flashy players with the Star. He's been so much composed throughout his journey to the quarterfinal, to the grand finals. And right now, I guess he's displaying the same composure yet again. He's wanting to play number 40 to make a move himself, and trying to counter that is going to be the strategy of player number 4 once again. Star, he does not have a grenade to work with, so certainly he can't really pour in those nades inside the house, but the glue wall that he has can certainly help him. He still has 2 first aid kits though. In case he needs some healings mid-battle, he can use them. But Bullet Raja is the one who is shouting some bullets right now on player number 25. This is going to be a good fight between Overlord and Bullet Raja. Overlord though taking a back foot at the moment, trying to go away from this particular fight, or probably trying to take gain some high ground. Player number 46 as well as player number 9. Sanu as well as LFF, both of them come very close to each other. Evil FF though, the winner of the last game. Let's see what he can actually pull off in Kalahari.
Yeah, I mean, he's going up against Sanu and Suraj for the time being, and he's going to have to isolate his 1v1s if he wants to come out on top. But Suraj is not too keen on engaging. He's actually going to hold on to the sniper tower for now. Evil FF ke haath mein double vectors hai, but yeah, pushing in may not be the wisest choice when you're going to give away a noise to the third party. And yeah, Sanu, wow, look at his position. He's on top of this little warehouse area, so he has been spotted by Suraj, I'm guessing. A swift death could await him because from this position you just completely expose, and there you go. The time turner is going to have to be popped. His location is going to be revealed, and what is it that you decide to do now? Okay, he's going to be able to drop down safely and stay alive. But look at that! From every single where bullets come flying in, everybody wants wants a piece of Sanu's inventory, and for the time being, he's going to be able to keep himself safe. But the circle is
for a
formed.
moment, I thought that you're going to say Sanu's flesh.
His body? Sanu's flesh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I figured that not everyone in this server is a cannibal. Implying that some people in this server are indeed cannibals. Haha. Just kidding, that's a that's a joke. But Badhan in the meantime with his P90 in his hand, let's see if he's capable of actually using it at close range. Radhe bhai ke paas MP5 hai, so it should be a fair fight.
24 players from each and every BO3 yesterday, I guess, qualified. I'm not really sure about the statistic, but I guess the production can fill me in. But it's pretty close to that. Right now, in the grand finals, only top 8 get some prize. So definitely there is going to be a lot of battle going on, because getting to the top 8 in solos is not easy. Maintaining the consistency in a solo match is something which is very hard to get. And to be honest, I've seen few players do it. We have seen Deepu Rawat, aka Janu G, do that in the past. We have seen X-Mania do that as well. I'm not really sure if they're going to repeat those performances here itself again, because as I said, maintaining that consistency is so important. You might get it consistently for a day itself, but getting it consistently throughout a tournament is something which is crazy to imagine. Like imagine always knowing and always being on the top of your toes and always knowing where your enemies are going to pop off from and always reacting to the best of your abilities with no one to back you up. There is no second chance whatsoever, and it always coming out at the right end of the tunnel. This is so hard to pull
Yeah.
off, and imagine someone doing that.
Yeah, it's probably I have to say, it's probably a lot very stressful trying to account for every single possibility in every single player. But looks like Ultron over here is going to be the victor of a fight that I wasn't expecting him to be the victor of. He's able to make his MP5 sing, and yeah, I guess the one who was on the receiving end of it didn't really like the song he heard. Bullet Raja, in the meantime, with the M60 in his hand, could certainly peek out over here, but he's actually going to switch over to the Mag 7, and the Mag 7 does so much work. At that distance, I wasn't really expecting him to get the kill, but it seems like he can really connect his shots. And Bullet Raja, he's going to be able to find his hands on a Groza, so he's also going to have that medium range superiority compared to some of these other players over here. Let's see if he can use that gun, though, because yeah, Groza can be a little bit tricky to use if you're new to it. It does have a fair amount of recoil. So yeah, getting used to it can take a fair amount of time. Bimal, in the meantime, with the Vector, is going to be able to find himself a kill. It's only a single Vector, Salty, no double Vector. So he's going to keep his options open with a secondary weapon, something like a sniper rifle, maybe an SKS for the medium to long range. We'll see what he gets his hands on. Lekin, for the time being, Abhay, or Ab as he likes to be called, he has a paraffil equipped at the close range. It's not the best weapons. It's not one of the best weapons to have, but Abhi, the double barrel shotgun, can certainly do a lot of work against a paraffil, and he's going to be able to find himself that kill. Maybe if his opponent switched over to something like an MP40, he could have had a chance, but no chances over there. Radhebhai, in the meantime, has the AUG in his hands. He could connect these shots. Now, we've seen time and time again, players, when they go in these sports cars, they do expose their heads. So, Radhebhai, if he could take a measured shot, he can find a knock. But, oh my god, Salty, look at that circle hut shifting towards the western part of the map. It's not going to be very happy. Radhebhai over here is going to be able to force out the time turner coming in from his enemy. And he's going to run all the way around, waiting for the move speed buff to expire, and maybe then he can take the fight. But look at this. Luffy, in the meantime, is getting fired upon by other players, and he's going to lie down and try to heal himself back up. Radhebhai knows exactly what's going up, and he's going to be able to deploy a glue wall for cover for himself and snatch that kill away from the jaws of FF. And SNTFF, he's not going to be too happy about that kill being stolen from him. Radhebhai, in the meantime, wondering what to do. And oh no, evil FF Salty. He's caught between a rock and a hard place. Ek taraf Sanu, ek taraf Bullet Raja. Sanu is hanging around command post since the start of the game, is still here. Doesn't see any real reason to move until the zone's going to start moving. And he will most certainly try to complete these fights before he tries to get the hell out of here. Still has one grappling hook charge left. So yeah, he can certainly make good use of it.
Yeah. Once again, Radhebhai as well as player number 8, both of them. I believe it is Rakash, both of them on their vehicles. And Radhebhai will try and get a high vantage point inside the circle. Not really sure if that is a good thing to start off, because you don't really want to be on the high ground and expose yourself to various directions. But then a lot of players have actually opted for high ground tactics in the past. So definitely, I guess in terms of statistics, it can actually work. But then Suraj deploying the glue wall, trying to prevent himself from some shots. I guess it is Evil FF. Yes, it is Evil FF. Certainly, Evil will try and counter strat that one as well, trying to go from the other side and inflicting the skill. But getting the kill connected, getting the shot connected will be very, very difficult, because the blue zone comes in as well. He needs to care. He needs to think about his health as well, because he does not have any first aid kit whatsoever, Floki. This can be really, really dampening to the hopes of a second booyah for Evil FF.
Yeah, most certainly. Evil FF. He's going to have to work very hard to get out of the situation that he's found himself in. Now, Suraj has max 7 at close range, Salty, and we've seen what kind of work this weapon can do when you let it just reign supreme. FF, though, he's going to walk all the way around. He doesn't want to take a direct engagement against Suraj, but he may not have enough time to do so, Salty, because he's losing out on HP. He's bleeding slowly but surely, and Suraj, yeah, he spotted him. He's not going to let him get inside so easily, but Evil did manage to find a kill while I was not watching, so maybe could be wrong about that. For the time being, though, Sanu tried to take a fight against IDFC Yash, who's perched up on the high ground. Certainly has the vantage point advantage, but Sanu, he can find a way to get inside and get out of IDFC Yash's line of sight, and he will do so. Sticking to the cliffs, he's going to be able to make his way around and get inside the circle. And IDFC Yash, वो उनको इतने आसानी से जाने नहीं देंगे यहाँ पे. He most certainly wants to gatekeep him, but I'm not sure if Sanu can actually make it inside the circle in time or inside the next blue zone area in time at the very least. क्योंकि देखिए उनकी positioning, I mean यश और team number 17 के जो player है दोनों उनकी position watch कर पाएंगे. Even in the meantime, उनके हाथ में एक medkit लगी है. He's still struggling to find medkit so he can heal himself back up and keep himself alive. I like what he's doing over here, but he needs to get inside the circle, make a dash straight for the center, Salty, but I don't think he's going to make it. He's going to be eliminated here very early in 28th place, and he's not going to find a lot of points to work with. Unfortunate ending for a hero who got the first game finish, but yeah, he's going to have to come back in the upcoming games in order to stay alive. जन्नू जी देखते हैं वो क्या करता है यहाँ पे. Gen Friday in the meantime अपने आप को heal करने की कोशिश करेंगे वापस. Rocky is going to stay perched up on the sniper tower. उनके हाथ में M4 तो है, तो he's not going to be too afraid of taking this engagement because it does favor him, at least with the vantage point. But yeah, he's going to have to aim it right if he actually wants to convert that into a kill. Well, SNTFF will do so for him. Yeah, go on.
Certainly. Janucci has been eliminated as well. So Deepu Rawat, the player who has been the top performer from yesterday, is just finding no ground whatsoever in the first two games. Both Bermuda as well as Kalahari has not been clicking for him, and that actually kind of make things pretty weird because Evil FF got taken down. Deepu Rawat is not performing. We haven't seen X-Men anywhere. I'm not even sure if any of the table toppers from yesterday are here. I mean, performing today as well. So this is the uncertainty that actually, involves or revolves around the solo gameplay, and it really gets hard to predict after a certain point which particular player is going to win. Just look at so many players are still alive, but this is the fourth circle, I guess. I'm not really sure if all of these players are going to make it inside the final circle. Look at this Scar battle going on, I guess. Anurag, the best, he found a way to headshot OP dead shot out of the game itself. That was pretty rhyming. I think I should start rapping something. But nonetheless, Anurag, the best, he still wants to get another one. He knows that there is a damaged vehicle out there. He wants to make use of it, but I don't think that's going to happen. Anurag, the best, he needs to find himself a good little spot inside the circle. I guess that is going to be the best thing possible for him. There aren't really a lot of angles that you can, take cover inside the circle. It's completely out in the open, and in a solo game like this, it gets really, really hard to find yourself some sort of cover. Player number 2 and player number 38 almost hugging each other. Badal versus, I'm not really sure which particular player it is. Badal will try and run in. I'm not really sure if there's going to be some offense provided by Rudra. He's taking a lot of damage, and eventually he'll fall, and Badal is the one who survives. But then the blue zone comes in, and there comes his fate. I'm not really sure if he's going to survive this long rush. This is going to be a run for his life. He has to be Usain Bolt if he wants to survive this. Right now, he knows there are enemies left and right, and staying alive at this particular point is just going to be so difficult. But Ploki, look at this cluster of players. Player number 24, player number 30, player number 40, as well as player number 15, all perched up in the same compound. And boy, oh boy, only one is going to come out alive.
Absolutely, Salty, and I'm not sure who it's going to be. Xmedia seems to be the likely candidate because he has a double barrel shotgun in his hands, but yeah, he's going to have to aim that thing very, very precisely, and he's going to have to be careful as well because after he gets a kill, there's a chance he might get swarmed. Now, the time turn is going to be popped. The glue wall is still available, giving him a fair amount of cover, but the circle is going to start closing in, Salty, and he has to make his way inside. He does not have time to heal back up. His HP is not going to be enough. That last glue wall is going to be popped, and now it's all going to be about how many shots he can connect. Eventually, Radhebhai should be able to get the kill. No, he actually cannot. Radhebhai is going to let him pass. Xmedia is going to be able to stay alive for the time being, and he's going to be able to get himself inside the next circle, hopefully, if he can connect these shots. But the time turner gets popped, and Asim with the double vectors is going to be able to get the headshot. Bada, in the meantime, trying to fire on the guy riding the monster truck. It's going to be a Note 99, and a Note 99 is... yeah, he's going to drop the Chrono Shield and heal himself back up for the time being, but he still needs to hold on to his position because he might be exposed from the back as well. Salty, look at that. Player number 5, Radhebhai, will be able to take out another opponent of his, and now it's going to be a 5-way Mexican standoff of sorts, but who has the biggest advantage here? Can't really say for sure. Seems that Ankit might be the guy who does because he is in the smack dab center right now, but he's hiding on top of that monster truck, Salty. I'm not sure if this is the best idea in the world. Bada, in the meantime, he's struggling to get some cover in. He does not have enough glue walls to keep himself alive for long enough, but the zone is going to start closing in, and the glue wall is going to be forced from him. Now, TUI Overlord, He's trying to get into close range so he can find the kills onto Zef, but Zef is quicker. He's going to be able to pick that one up with the UMP in his hand. Radevai, he has the MP5 though, so maybe he can do a fair amount of work over here. He's still alive for the time being, but as I say that, he has been eliminated, and Zef is going to be the one who's standing towards the end, Salty, and Zef is the one who finds the booyah. Radevai being eliminated a little bit earlier than he was hoping for, but regardless, Zef, he's going to be quite happy that he found himself the booyah. Radevai finishing in 4th. Not a bad spot to find yourself in, but you certainly do hope that he had a bit more, slightly more number of kills, because just having 2 kills is not really enough to help you stay in the top 8. I'm hoping though, over the course of time, his consistent performance and his consistent top 5, top 6 placements are going to be able to net him a spot in the grand finals.
Certainly. I mean, you were mentioning about a player who is going to come out and really perform. I guess Ozef is the one who really did it in this particular game itself. We didn't really see much of this particular player since yesterday. In this particular match as well, he wasn't really someone who was really fascinating everyone with his gunplay, but later on in the later half of the match, he really showed up, and he showed up big time. Each and every action in this particular game was, I would say, well calculated from every player. All of these particular players are really good Free Fire players, but I really want to see the final circle, because I actually saw something which is very interesting. The 5 PM Mexican affair that you mentioned, it was really cool. Ankit99 kind of cocooned himself with the help of his monster truck as well as a glue wall. And when the final circle popped up, he knew that he had to isolate players coming in from other direction, and it was just perfect. It almost worked. Just look at it. He had a monster truck behind him and a glue wall right in front that isolates him from 1, 2, 3 player coming in from the front. It only kind of exposes him to one player, that is going to be Badal, and Badal kind of messed things up riding on the truck as well, doing lots of different things. I guess Ankit99 did manage to survive till the final moment when Uzaif took him down. So that was pretty close from this particular player. Nonetheless, if you look at the final standings, Uzaif find themselves, I mean, in the top, Floki. This is rather surprising to me, because I didn't really see him in the top or even in the top 5 after the first game, but after the second game, surprisingly enough, he is at the top position with 1060 points.
Absolutely, Salty. I mean, this is the result of consistency. If you're consistent in terms of your positioning across multiple games, you are much likely to be in a higher spot compared to some of these other players here. Now, Zef, of course, he has 100 kill points and 960 positioning points, so he's on top for now. But if you look at the number 2 and number 3 players, are not too far behind. Compare that to the number 4 and number 5 players, and that's where the difference starts becoming wider and wider. Radevai with 1020, HH Asam with 1040, and Uzef with 1060. Yeah, there's not a lot of difference in these guys' standings as of now. You could pretty much say that they are almost in the same spot. But both 5th, 6th, and 7th. That's where the real competition is going to lie, and that's where we're going to be keeping our eyes peeled up for next game. We're going to be cutting to a short break for now, folks. लेकिन आप कहीं नहीं जाएगा, क्योंकि आप देख रहे हैं MediaTek presents the Free Fire Masters powered by JioGames, and मैं और Salty third map Purgatory लेके बस कुछ ही देर में वापस आएंगे. Ladies and gentlemen, देवी और सज्जन और हमारे सारे दर्शकों का एक बार फिर से स्वागत है। MediaTek presents the Free Fire Gaming Masters Quest for the Best 2021 में powered by JioGames। मेरा नाम है फ्लूकी, मेरे साथ है Salty, रोली, कहानी की BTL, Big Fat Panda and Dan the Bot। और हम हमारे Best of 7 के तीसरे मैप पे आ गए हैं, Purgatory पे। This time around Salty, playing का path बहुत ही awkward है, favoring the eastern side completely। शुरू हो रहा है Lumber Mills and खत्म हो रहा है Moat House की तरफ। Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to make of this, and I'm not quite sure how teams are going to react to this.
Yeah, certainly. A lot of players are actually going towards the high tier loot zone, which is on Forge. And I also expect few of the players to go to Morehouse because the flight path heavily favors it. But I'm not quite sure what to say about the Western Island because Marbleworks Golf Course, Mount Villa as well as Quarry, all of these regions are going to be far away from the flight path, and I don't really think the teams are going to risk themselves trying to go to that particular location. Then Radhe Bhai, the one who is in the top part of the table, he finds himself in a very precarious position. He only has a shotgun to work with, but certainly the shotgun is not working in such a long distance. He needs to get himself some healing at least, because at the moment he's at 65 HP, something not really good enough. But then this is going to be the star, and once again finds himself right in front of, I believe it is IDFC Yash. I can't really read the name in this particular position, but it is player number 14. I believe it is Dragger right now. Yeah, it is Dragger. One single grenade inside the trailer, it can really explode Dragger out, but that is not what is happening. Star will have to move in. Dragger does have an MP40 to work with. This can be a close range affair where the Star might not be able to survive, but he realizes it and he understands that an MP40 can't really be matched up in such a close range. So he increases his spacing, but now he is really low on health, Loki.
Yeah, he needs to heal himself back up, but unfortunately, Salty, he has no medkits to work with, so he's gonna have to just run back to cover and hope for the best. Maybe if he takes this fight against Dragger and wins, he's gonna be able to, get something going for himself. But it's gonna be difficult to do so. He does not have the best rifle for this range. I mean, the battlefield most certainly is good, but Dragger's not really gonna give him an opportunity by peeking and propping his head up. I guess his only remaining other option is to just wait 1 minute and 35 seconds until the next circle shows itself. But look at this. Radhe Bhai in the meantime is going to be eliminated by Overlord so early on in the map. This is going to open up Radhe Bhai's positioning up for the taking. And I have to say, Radhe Bhai is not going to be feeling too happy about that.
Certainly, I guess when a tabletopper gets eliminated so early, this kind of shifts the entire table towards a certain direction. I guess it is all about Evil FF and Usef as well as the other player to maintain that particular momentum that they've built on. Just have a look at it. Only SNT FF has found his way towards Marbleworks. Rest all other players are on the main island, and this is so crazy to look at. No one is on the western island, but something is for certain. Fourth Jester as well as Ultron, both of them are in the same compound. As I've said already, if you're in the opposite team and also you're under the same roof, no one can remain happy. Jester will try and take this particular kill for himself. He has a shotgun which can actually function in such a short distance. Even though up against the MP40 didn't really connect well. He couldn't really hit a single shot though. Jester is still at 100 or rather full HP, and with another player coming in, I guess things can get pretty interesting. This is Ankit99, another player who played really well in both the games. I guess he does have a chance up against Fourth Jester, but we'll have to wait because both these players, none of them are gonna push as of yet. I guess they're gonna wait it out, play the waiting game, play the patient game, and try and delay it as much as possible. Probably move away from it as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, playing the waiting game is always going to work out in your favor, especially if you have a good position and no one knows about you. But Xmania in the meantime is going to be able to pick himself up a kill elsewhere on the map and heat himself back up. This is still happening towards Forge, where Radhe Bhai had fallen. So, yeah, Forge still certainly the epicenter of a lot of action. Also, it being the high tier loot zone really helps. But Overlord wrapping around with a VSS at this range, it can do a lot of work. But Xmania, he knows what's happening and he's going to be able to quickly get himself back to cover. He's going to be able to heal himself back up too. The medkit's coming in, but Overlord, oh no, he's cooking a grenade. Xmania may not have the best time against it, but he knows that the grenade is going to be coming and he's going to move out of it. Now Xmania, the second grenade is coming.
Wow.
Yes, he does. And the second grenade is also going to be dodged by Xmania. And now, with his perfect read onto Overlord, Overlord is must must be feeling very, very concerned as to what this man is capable of. Well, X-Mania is going to turn around, has the Max 7 in his hand. The time turner is going to get popped by both of these players. And yeah, X-Mania, as soon as he sees the double barrel shotgun, he's not too keen on taking that close range engagement. But maybe with the MP40, he can win it out. He's trying to put some distance between him and Overlord because he knows that Overlord is going to try to get close the double barrel shotgun. But he's not successful in doing so. And X-Mania, I am not quite sure what happened there. He ran into an obstacle and bounced back twice. But, oh, X-Mania, he could be in a bit of a pickle here. The MP40, wait, what? No! Oh, no, I'm not sure what was happening there. X-Mania, he just didn't really shoot
He just
anything.
lagged.
He might have lagged.
Did he just lag?
He might have also... I'm not too sure, Salty. I think he might have. If he did, though, you know what he has to do.
Yeah, certainly. I guess getting MediaTek processors is probably the way to go. Get yourself the No, don't go to the Dimensity. I guess it is the Helio G95 is better in terms of gaming. I guess it is something which you want to look out for.
Absolutely. I mean, the Helio G95 is indeed better for gaming, Salty. I mean, you have a processor that is designed specifically for gamers, so of course it's going to be a lot better than your average run-of-the-mill processor, right? So MediaTek certainly reigning supreme on that front. But for the time being, let's see what exactly is it that these guys are going to be capable of. Ford Chester, the double-barrel shotgun in his hand. Let's see how much work he can do with it. And he's going to be able to heal himself back up and keep himself alive for the time being. But eventually, Aryash, I think that's his name, is he will try to push up there, and he doesn't really have a lot of glue walls to seal himself off. So yeah, let's see what is it that he decides to do. Ankit 99 in the meantime is going to be occupying a different house, and it's actually the same house in Brasilia. And yeah, Aryash is also in it. I'm not sure. I think he's trying to third party here, Salty, but yeah, let's see if he's actually capable of doing that. यहाँ पे third party करना थोड़ा मुश्किल होगा. Aryash, well, उनको समझ में आ गया situation में क्या हो रहा है. वो like नहीं भाई, third party का तो मौका ही नहीं है. मैं तो यहाँ से निकल रहा हूँ. इससे अच्छा मैं fight ही नहीं लूँ.
Certainly. I guess Jester as well as Ankit 99, they're in the same compound they were initially, and they haven't really moved an inch from there. Aryash is probably the one who had taken a third entry, tried to take try to rent a particular room for himself, but couldn't really because the house owners, they're kind of pretty angry, and Aryash doesn't really want to stay in that particular house. He moves on to a smaller building, but satisfied himself with that. Asim destroying the skull of, I don't know which particular player. I couldn't really read the name. It was pretty complicated. I guess getting simpler player names could have made the work for casters so much easier. It would really mean the world to us, but nonetheless, I guess. War God Ashu taking damage from the circle.
Yeah, he's doing it on purpose, Salty. He has a lot of EP to work with, so that's eventually going to be converted to HP, and yeah, the initial blue soul damage can be tanked, but let's see what he's actually going to do after that, because if he continues to tank blue zone damage over here, most certainly he's going to have to expend resources to get his HP back up, and you don't want to find yourself in that position. Now, the great thing is that for SNTFF, who's the only guy who dropped in on the Western Island, a part of Marble Works and a part of Gold Coast is still inside the circle. So if he continues to stay here, he could very, very easily come out on top, having done very little work. Let's see if it actually pays off, though, Salty, because with the circle closing in, Brasilia is going to be close to the center of it, and yeah, if the circle is any indication of what's to come and it's going to be another average circle, then we will see teams in Brasilia be rewarded. At least the ones on the northern end will certainly be.
Yep. OP Deadshot once again being pretty close to War God Ashu. Both of these players are definitely inside the blue circle, and I'm not really sure why are they trying to take this particular fight. Deadshot though, he has a shotgun in his hand, and certainly he is in no position to take this particular fight. He realizes it and he falls back. At this moment, I guess a lot of these players will fight in Brasilia because once again, it is going to be the place where most of these players will try and go and finish their, I don't know, destinations or probably rotations. But the circle can actually play a spoil sport. We can see how dense Brasilia is at the moment. And if a hard shifts towards someone else, rotating out of Brasilia is going to be so difficult. And as I say that half of Brasilia has been caught out, it is going to be pretty difficult for the teams, or rather the players who are in the south as well as on the eastern part of the map itself, and that just makes things so difficult. Evil FF once again finds himself inside the blue circle. If I remember well, he was eliminated very early in the second game, and I guess in this match he really wanted to be in the top 8 at least, to kind of maintain the consistency. But at this point, I'm not really sure what he's planning. He has 14 medkits though, and certainly that is going to help him with the 9 glue walls. He can certainly make his way inside the circle. Let's just see what he actually plans out. Deadshot is out there, and I guess Evil FF is aware of that. And crossing the stream is certainly not going to be easy for Evil FF. He needs to take those short steps and be very cautious about his every move. Asim is out there. He's connecting shots, and I guess it is player number 33 who is trying to run away. But Asim, with the mid-range weapon, not dealing a lot of damage. Something which could have done with a sniper rifle though. Evil FF once again trying to take cover behind the boat. OP Deadshot is probably aware of where Evil FF is, and I guess he will try and take action.
Yeah, he certainly can take action if needed. Evil FF, he can't really move here, Salty, because OP Deadshot has a better positioning. But I think after seeing the time turner and watching him run away, Evil can start making his way back inside the circle. Now, remember what happened with Evil. He got eliminated very early on Kalahari. So he is trying to play a bit more cautiously, trying not to make the same mistake twice. And is going to be successful in doing so because he's going all the way around outside the blue zone to get in the circle eventually. So he's going to be able to avoid unnecessary attention to himself for the time being. But let's see if that's going to be the case for a long time or no.
Yep, certainly.
Prakash,
In this particular compound though, yeah, go on, Floki, go on.
Okay, yeah. Rakash is going to be holding this house for the time being, Salty. He has a 1014 in his hand, but we've all seen that at close range, if you land those 2 quick shots, the double barrel shotgun is just better. Like almost every single time you're gonna watch a fight break out between a 1014 and a double barrel. The double barrel will reign supreme as long as you connect your shots. 1014 on the other hand, it has more bullets, it has slightly less damage, so it's a lot better in situations where you're trying to outrange the opponent who's trying to run into you. The double barrel though, they most certainly encourage a run into your face and connect both shots kind of play style because it always gets you a knock.
Yeah.
For the time being though, Uzef with the VSS Salty, he's trying to fight towards the edge of the circle. Wargod Ashu is going to deploy a glue wall and heal himself back up. But Uzef, I like this decision that he's making. He's going all the way around and avoiding the fight instead of unnecessarily trying to take a fight against Wargod Ashu. Now, going up high ground could be problematic because he does not see anyone else, but with a little bit smart usage of glue walls, he should be able to find himself some cover. But maybe he doesn't want to give away his position to other people.
Yep, Wargod Ashu getting his second kill of the day, off the map itself. Once again, he needs to heal himself up, but I guess he'll find himself right in front of our Fury as well as another player. Not really sure player number 33 what he was doing, being caught out in such an open area. Money Kicks is out there. He really wants his double vector to shred, but for that he needs to close the spacing. At this particular range, you're not going to hit a single shot, and Money Kicks knows that. I guess getting back inside the barn house is going to be the better option for him, at least for now. Player number 33 as well as player number 7, both of them know that they need to get inside the circle. Player number 33 has been caught out in such an outrageous position that he can't really make a move for now. Money Kicks, he realizes that he has to get inside the circle, and that is what he is doing right now. Player number 4 using a damaged vehicle to try and cross a lot of distance, but then he will find himself right under Mr. Brackets. And player number 18, I'm not really sure if he seizes the opportunity, but if he hits quite a few of those shots, I guess the vehicle might actually explode and he can get a kill. But SNTFF, he's using the vehicle to get inside the stream, and I'm not really sure what that. I mean, certainly that was an awkward moment to die. That was an awkward way to die.
Yeah, I mean, you stand on top of a car and it explodes underneath you and you die. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? Jannuji though, with the stair rock in his hand, Salty, he certainly has the medium range advantage.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can actually put it to good use here. His biggest problem is going to be that player number 16 is going to close in on him when he hears those bullets firing, and he's not going to be aware of it happening. So he's going to have to quickly finish these fights off if he wants to stay alive, because the circle is closing in, Salty. There are 21 players still remaining, and as Scripps has often put it, this is the Thanos circle. This is where boys are separated from men, and Let's see which of these players will be able to make that distinction and make that advance into the next zone. In the meantime, Jannuji
Yeah.
actually gets some help from IDFC Yash, who's able to knock out the player who was standing behind him. KG Kings in the meantime, he is way ahead inside that little house, and he's going to be able to keep himself alive. But with Zeph, well, that's going to be a different
Ooh.
story because Luffy is able to find the kill on him. Elsewhere on the map, I believe a car kill was found, Salty. I could be wrong though, but I did see something weird on the scoreboard, and I didn't quite catch what it was. Jannuji though, yeah, he's caught between a rock and a hard place over here. यहाँ पे अगर उनको जिंदा रहना है तो उनको काफी मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी क्योंकि उनके सामने केजी किंग्स के जो प्लेयर है उनके हाथ में SKS है एंड लॉन्ग रेंज पे वो वेपन काफी अच्छा है. He also does seem to have a few attachments on it, तो attachments का इस्तेमाल करके certainly यहाँ पे परेशानी क्रिएट कर सकते हैं बाकी सारे प्लेयर्स के लिए.
Yeah, talking about Chandu he's already out of the server because average Chandu, he just sees the opportunity when he saw the glue wall broke out. But then once again, average Chandu, he used to actually find a place inside the compound where King's DV is. Meanwhile, we have an absolute devastation here. Player number 31 goes up against player number 34. Arius destroying his opposition, reclaiming his position back. Player number 40, once again, Ankit99, as well as R Fury. Both of them, I guess they have been in the same compound since eternity. I'm not really sure about it. But Evil FF finds himself in a good position. He is already inside the top 10, and he would want to go further. Bimal is already out of the server right now, and that leaves us with 9 players in it. If you have to survive this circle, you have to be like Muhammad Ali in the ring. You have to dodge players from one to the another, and I guess Ankit99 is doing exactly that. He uses his vehicle to try and take a different position. I guess he did the right thing, but then he needs to justify what he did right there. He crashed onto a rock. I'm not really sure what he's doing right now. He's completely driving his car like a madman and like a very bad driver, certainly. With so much so, I guess only few glue walls are going to be there to save him at the moment. Asim has created a cocoon for himself as well. I guess few of the grenades can actually do a lot of damage. Ankit will try and close the distance on Asim. Who gets the kill? It is going to be Asim with the shotgun. One shot kill on Ankit99. That headshot was really, really brilliant. Aryash with the AK-47. He will try and destroy a few of the glue walls because he wants those kills and wants to push forward. Getting more territory into this open barren land is going to be really, really difficult. Evil FF has been destroyed from behind. Asim capturing the trade kill. And there goes the kills barrier. Right now, there are only 4 players left in the server at the moment. Cloaky, only few of them are inside the circle. The blue zone shrinks. And what do you think? What is going to happen?
I'm not too sure, but given Aryash's position, it seems that he is in the prime spot to take this game. He has glue walls, he has medkits, he has good weapons to work with, but you never know, Salty. The circle betrays us all. If you don't play the circle smartly, and if you don't, make the most out of every opportunity you get, you could be in a world of trouble. Now, Luffy is more likely to take this firefight against Rakash, and this is why Aryash can just wait this one out. He really does not have to push. He can wait for this to come to its logical conclusion, and now the push comes in. Look at Yash. He is already inside the center, but he wants to take the fight towards Rakash. He is gonna be cooking up that grenade. Can he connect with it? No! The glue wall actually is gonna protect him for the time being. But Aryash, he does have the AK-47, and at this range, it is a pretty good weapon. But I think he's probably gonna try to reload the Mag 7 because the Mag 7 is much, much better for close range. After hearing those shots, Rakash is gonna push in with a 10-14, and he connects heavily on towards Aryash. And Aryash, with the time turner, is gonna heal himself back up. Can he get close and finish off the kill? Though he's trying, but the jukes and jives coming in from his opponent are gonna keep him alive, and Rakash is the one who finds the booyah, and he finds on a sliver of HP, Salty. Not something that either of us were expecting to happen. I think we both thought that Arias was going to be able to take him out, but he was able to move around, juke and jive, dodge all bullets, and break dance his way to a booyah.
That was a slam by Rakash. I didn't really expect that to happen, to be honest. Even though I thought that this is going to be a one-way affair in terms of a 1v1, I thought that either of these two players are just going to dominate that 1v1, but that was not really the case. Like, Rakash connected few of the shots and reduced Arish to like a sliver of HP. And with that, Arish was able to work it out. He used a time turner perfectly and connected a lot of shots on Rakash in return. And both of them were almost surviving by the skin of their teeth. And it was just Rakash who found the final shots to put the final nail in the coffin and seal off the game of Purgatory. Once again, this was a beautiful, beautiful game, and we saw some great moments, and this was one of them. Radhibhai, one of the table toppers, getting eliminated pretty early.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say I was expecting more of Radhibhai, but it seems that he dropped into Forge and sealed his fate right there. Overlord had a good performance over here. Close range, he did fair amount of
Yeah.
work, but X-Mania, unfortunately for him, I think he lagged out over there. And sure,
Yeah.
you folks know what to do if you're lagging out by now. But
Certainly.
yeah, I have
And
to
this
say,
particular position, Janu G was once again kind of in a weird position. Like, even though he did find himself on the right end of it, I don't really think that Janu G really wanted to be in that particular position. Ankit 99, the driving was as weird as the gunfight here. He just completely owned by Asim with one shot. There was no reaction whatsoever. You can't really react to such fast, quick reflexes from Asim. He really got that one tap right. And talking about, I guess it was Evil FF who was taken down by one player, and then Asim quickly captured on another kill. This was the place where Luffy was taken down by this particular player as well. It was Rakash who got him, and there comes the onslaught. Arias just trying to rampage all across the field, trying to cover as much distance as he can, then creating some separation with the glue wall, trying to grenade him out of the game, but that didn't really work out. And once again, I don't really understand how Aryash did lose so much HP. Like, Rakash connected few of the shots. Like, this is probably where Rakash will connect so much shots. See, have a look, so much damage being inflicted. 24 HP to work with, and this is where Aryash really made things out. I think Rakash kind of messed up in terms of the reload as well, but then just at the final moment, he connected a shot, and that was it. And look at that, Floki.
Yeah.
Asim didn't really get a booyah in either of the games, but on terms of sheer consistency, this guy is at the top and trying to create a separation for himself. Once again,
Yeah, I mean,
how
if you
much
say-
difference is he?
yeah, go on.
I mean, just look at that 300-point difference. That is like outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, having that big of a difference is going to be quite comforting for Asim. Now, all he really has to do is maintain this lead. It's a lot easier said than done, Salty, because solos mode can be quite hard, as we've seen time and time again, with some of the best players being eliminated early on. Certainly not very easy, but the more consistent you are, the likely it is that every single standout performance that you have is going to have that much more impact. You can't just, think that, oh, I'm going to get first place every single game, no matter what. I mean, you can certainly try, but if you narrow your vision to something like something as simple as getting the first place, you can many a times get stuck in the wrong way of thinking. Maybe you just play a bit too aggressively as a result, or maybe you play a bit too passively because you want to get the first place, and you don't want to be stuck in those modes of thinking. But we'll see exactly what these players do to adapt, because there are still 4 more maps remaining. But for us to be back with the next map, we're going to take a couple of minutes, so you guys don't go anywhere, because you guys are watching MediaTek Presents the Free Fire Gaming Masters 2021, powered by JioGames. My name is Floki, with me is Salty, and we'll be back with game number 4 in just a bit.
Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 800U. Get ready for incredible experiences from this ultra-connected chip. Featuring dual 5G SIM for 5G connectivity that's always ready to go. High-quality voice and video calls. 5G carrier aggregation that keeps you connected. By keeping the 5G modem in the chip and using MediaTek's 5G ultra-safe power savings technology, we've created the world's most power-efficient smartphone 5G modem, boosting your battery life. With faster peak speeds, the Dimensity 800U accelerates launch time for your favorite games and apps. Use your voice assistant for scheduling and reminders in the language you prefer. With Dimensity 800U, smartphones feature supersized cameras and HDR imaging. Plus, its integrated AI processor helps enhance pictures and 4K videos in day or night. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible.
Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 1000 Plus. Our flagship 5G integrated chip gives you immense CPU performance, stunning graphics, and incredible AI. You can game flawlessly, load apps faster, and multitask smoother, all on 5G. Pick up your camera and shoot stunning HDR pictures and videos, or go out at night with perfect results every time. Benefit from powerful AI and the latest MediaTek hyper-engine gaming technology. This predictive networking enhances your smartphone experience and dramatically reduces latency, provides rapid responsiveness that shaves milliseconds off touchscreen input, and enhances power management that lets you game longer. While ultra-fast displays at your fingertips give you the edge, MediaTek Mirror Vision display technology brings cinema-grade visuals into video streaming and playback. Use 5G connectivity that's both fast and power efficient. MediaTek 5G UltraSave is built in to extend your battery life, while dual 5G SIM support gives you 5G that's always ready to go and make voice and video calls with the highest quality. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible.
We're bringing 5G to everyone. Across mobile, automotive, IoT, in the home, and beyond. Introducing MediaTek Dimensity. MediaTek Dimensity is at the forefront of powering the 5G revolution. It's about what we can achieve when barriers between devices disappear and connectivity becomes seamless and instantaneous. It will change market, industries, and our everyday. Through Dimensity, we're spurring product, app, and service innovations that will enable the true possibilities of 5G connectivity. When you see Dimensity, know that MediaTek has built an unrivaled mix of technologies. The industry's fastest 5G connectivity, super fast processors, and incredible gaming. Exciting multimedia, the industry's most powerful AI cores, and impressive imaging. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. G is for gaming. Introducing MediaTek Helio G95. It's paired with MediaTek's hyper-engine game technology, which goes beyond the chip and tunes your whole smartphone. Because every millisecond matters in the gaming world. Whether you're streaming video, chatting with friends, or playing games, you can rely on us for responsive experiences that always impress. With in-chip innovations, all your wireless gear will connect reliably and retain their best performance. Maximize your everyday mobile experience with advanced 4G connectivity and dual SIM. Improved video playback quality with cinema-grade visuals, and support for multiple virtual assistants. Embrace AI super resolution for streaming video and teleconferencing.
saving your 4G data and battery life. Capture incredibly detailed photos and superb night shots. Integrated with these advanced technologies, MediaTek Helio G95 does the hard work, ensuring your smartphone always keeps up with you, so that you can focus on the moment.
लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, देवी और सज्जनों और हमारे सारे दर्शकों का एक बार फिर से स्वागत है मीडियाटेक प्रेजेंट्स द फ्री फायर गेमिंग मास्टर्स क्वेस्ट फॉर द बेस्ट 2021 पावर्ड बाय जियो गेम्स में। मेरा नाम है फ्लूकी, मेरे साथ है सॉल्टी, रोली, कानी की बीटीएल, बिग फैट पैंडा एंड डैन द बॉट। और हम हमारे बेस्ट ऑफ 7 के चौथे मैप पे आ गए हैं वापस से बरमूडा पर। प्लेन की उड़ान इस बार शुरू होगी क्लॉक टावर के वहां से और खत्म हो रही है टुवर्ड्स रिवर साइड एंड शिपयार्ड. नो रियल लोकेशंस जहां से वो कट हो रही है, लेकिन जो डैम खत्म होता है बर्मुडा पे वहां पे प्लेन का पास भी खत्म होता है. तो उसी के साथ देखते हैं ये टीम्स कहाँ पे ड्रॉप करती है. सेंटोसा should probably be inaccessible for some of these teams, Salty, and yeah, I'd be surprised to see some of these teams go there.
Certainly, even I don't think, because it is very far away, right? And going on to a different island and coming back onto the main island, that is a task, and I don't think that either of these players are going to do that as of yet. I guess most of the players have taken their drops on the main island, and right now we can see that the first blood has been drawn, and it is King's DV who has got the first kill for himself. This guy was also on a roll yesterday, and I was rather surprised to not see him at the top. Definitely he's delivering right now. I guess with good games up front, he might be able to overturn his fate and find himself inside the top 8, where he can actually win some cool prizes.
Yeah, and in case you're wondering what happens to the people who reach top 8, तो मैं सारे दर्शकों को बताना चाहूंगा कि यहाँ पे से जो भी top 8 है उनको direct entry मिलेगा duos के grand finals के लिए. Playoffs भी नहीं, सीधा ग्रैंड फाइनल्स. जी हाँ, तो यहाँ पे जो टॉप 8 प्लेयर्स होंगे ग्रैंड फाइनल्स के एंड में, वो सीधा डिओस के ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में अपने आप को पहुंचा पाएंगे. एंड या दे कैन हैव अ चांस टू विन lakhs and lakhs of rupees. Gotta say, it's a pretty great way to go about it. अगर आप अपनी सोलो स्किल्स में कॉन्फिडेंट हो, then you certainly can be the person who ends up walking away with lakhs and lakhs of rupees. But in the meantime, आपको यहाँ पे कामयाब होना पड़ेगा अगर आप चाहते हो कि आप वहां तक पहुंच सको, और उसके लिए you can have to perform over here. Awesome. In the meantime, उन्होंने एक kill ले लिया अपने आप के लिए over the long distance. I think he had a parafill in his hand, and yeah, with that he's able to secure himself a kill. देखते कि circle किधर form
Certainly.
होता है. But yeah, go on, Salty.
Yeah, Bimal with his MP40, and I guess Anurag the best, he has double vector in his hand. So definitely it's going to be a battle of the short range weapons. And even though it is going to be a battle of aim, I would like to see which particular weapon is better in short range. Is it the double vector or is it the MP40? Certainly it has to be the double vector, considering that it fires more bullets at you simultaneously. But then the MP40 can actually be very, very crazy considering its damage as well. We'll have to wait for that right now. I guess the map, we can see that most of the players are pretty spread apart. Yes, we will get to see these duels here and there, but I guess apart from that, most of the players, it isn't like most of the players are, trying to take a drop in a single location itself. There is a pretty good spacing between them. But here, once again, the fight between Bimal as well as Anurag the best, I guess it's going to take forever. Glue wall being popped up, Anurag the best trying to go aggressive. Another glue wall being popped up as well. Bimal has been reduced to almost 20 HP to work with. I'm not even sure if he will recover. He won't. He won't, because Anurag the best is certainly asserting himself right now.
Yeah, he most certainly is, and he continues to assert himself. He could get himself to the top spot, but over here, money kicks. This man seems to be struggling a little bit. उनका प्रदर्शन काफी अच्छा था सेमीफाइनल्स के टाइम पे, लेकिन ऐसा लगता है कि he has fallen or at least gotten off to a bit of a cold start today. देखते हैं कि वो recover यहाँ पे कर पाएंगे या नहीं. लेकिन for the time being, Bullet Raja, wow, okay, he was able to get himself one kill. So he's going to be able to get the loot off of his dead body and everything else that he has on him. But yeah, Bullet Raja, that was a pretty good shot. Very quick flick. But for the time being, Drago, he has to deal with money kicks. And money kicks, yeah, heat gun, not one of the best weapons in the game, but not a weapon that you cannot work with either. Can certainly do a fair amount of work if you actually take the time to aim it properly. Not the best fire rate, but does have a fair amount of damage. So देखते हैं कि money kicks उसको इस्तेमाल कर पाएंगे या नहीं.
Yeah, for Dragger as well, things will be pretty tough to cross the distance between the two houses, and I don't really think that he probably has the utilities to work it that way. Anurag the best, once again, another duel, this time up against player number 5. He has been reduced to 130 HP, which is certainly not bad. He can actually work with it. He doesn't have a lot of utilities to work with either. He doesn't have a grenade, or he doesn't have a glue wall as well. Radhebhai will try and shower some grenades in, try and do as much damage with the utilities as he can. So the duels get much more easier. This time around, the grenade was much more accurate, but Anurag the best, he did his best to dodge it. Radhebhai will try and be aggressive at this particular point. Oh no, he's not being aggressive. He's actually moving away from the compound. Anurag the best will probably get an open shot, but I don't really think he's going to take it because Radhebhai, he's pretty quick on his feet. And Anurag the best, he doesn't really have a long range weapon of that particular sort. Radhebhai though, he probably has a DMR and he can actually work with it, but he'll actually embark on his vehicle and run away for his life. Getting inside the circle is going to be the topmost priority for these players, at least for now, considering the circle is kind of weird. And as you mentioned, Floki, we have 2 players on the Sentosa Island. So yeah, and the circle still covers a bit of the Sentosa Island, so that is a good news for them.
But Ravi is AFK salty, unfortunately. This guy is going to be eliminated with, his phone or his internet lagging out, whatever it is, and I hope he's able to take care of it next time around. But for the time being, Money Kicks. This is the man that I'm expecting a lot out of. Unfortunately, seems to have fallen on hard times. Has only 2 glue balls and 1 medkit to his name, and a level 2 helmet to boot. But yeah, he certainly does wish he had a lot more than that. Well, the first circle, Salty, it's gonna show itself. Like you said, it did cover Sentosa Islands. So I'm guessing that the teams on Sentosa that are still there are not really gonna have to move. But over here, SNTFF eyeing up Varun is not gonna be able to secure the kill, but King's DB from elsewhere on the map was able to find a kill on someone. Wait, did he steal the kill
Varun
away?
Yeah.
Oh wow, he actually stole the kill away from Varun. Off Varun, sorry. Damn.
Certainly.
Wasn't expecting that to happen.
Either do I. I mean, this is so difficult to predict, especially when you're in solos mode. For example, you're shooting somebody, you probably wouldn't even know where you might get third party from or from where your kill might be stolen, because there's almost players everywhere. I haven't seen a place where there is no particular player. Radhebhai once again cruising in his vehicle. Once again, this is one of the sports car that I want to buy, but he's riding it with his and enjoying it as well. He seems to be enjoying his drive across the Dimensity Strip, definitely. But where does he stop? Is there any particular location that you would have picked, Floki, if you were Radhebhai in this particular position? Certainly, a fight is going on. I guess I'll come back to my question later on. But Overlord destroying Deadshot with that shotgun. That was a good fight though, but he needs to move right now considering the blue circle is already starting to shrink. Going back to my question, Loki. If you were on a vehicle, where?
Where would I go on Bermuda? Yeah. Great question, Salty. I'll answer that question shortly after this fight, because it seems that Kamina Pannai or Kamina Pannai, take your pick, call him whatever you want, is eyeing up Abhi. Now, Abhi had the time turner and glue walls to protect himself, so he will be able to stay alive over here. But yeah, I don't think Kamina Pannai is going to let go of him so easily, and he will be able to take his kill away. And just like that, he is going to be having a pretty decent time here. Now, outside the blue zone, though, there are lots of players who are still choosing to just, bide their time and not really go in just yet. Compare that to some of the players who are on the interior. They will have to take fights to maintain their position. I guess in this, in solos especially, staying outside can probably be a lot more rewarding than going in, because most of the time you'll see players drop in somewhere close to the center, and the center of the map is where the most action happens. So if you actually delay your rotations for as long as you can get a significant positioning advantage, and then take the fights that only really matter. Now, the circle could be a little bit treacherous. It could betray you. It could also mean that you don't have enough space to get inside the zone. But that does not mean that there aren't opportunities available. I think if you play a little bit smartly, you can most certainly always find a way to get inside the circle. If you just wait for some information or drop down some glue walls to cover your forward posture into a particular circle. लेकिन देखते हैं कि यहाँ पे exactly क्या होता है. Circle काफी अच्छे से shift हुआ था साउथ वेस्ट क्वाड्रेंट की तरफ Salty, and काफी सारे players already वो circle के अंदर हैं.
This guy Asim, he has been on top form today, and I guess he's been delivering in every particular duel that he has participated in. And with this particular kill in his bag already, he might just move towards tier player number 22. But once again, I want to revert back to that circle conversation, because the circle shifted really, really well. I haven't really seen a circle like this in quite a long while, where it involves the bridge as well as the stream, as well as the water banks. It can actually get pretty important for player number 40 to rotate early, because if he's caught out of that particular circle in the next in its next iteration, it'll be very hard for him to get back into the main island. Elsewhere on the map, though, we have Luffy, who is also cruising on his truck, certainly finding a lot of opposition, but really showing no interest in them. But I guess they will be interested in his vehicle, and they've already damaged it. And right now, he finds himself in the mix of a lot of players. A lot of different players are occupying compounds, and Luffy will be in the mix of all of these particular players. There is player number 41, 15, 43, 38. I can see a lot of these on the minimap. I can't even count how many. But Luffy still tries to make his position as his presence felt, I guess, taking in some shots, forcing out a glue wall at this point. Asim, though, he is trying to evade the grenade. I'm not really sure if he will be able to do so. The grenade bounced off the glue wall really nicely, but it did a lot of damage. It destroyed Asim and eliminated him from the server. He got eliminated in the 27th place for Floki. So
Yeah.
that is the headlines, because he was probably there in the top of the table, and getting eliminated in 27th place with 2 kills, that is not a lot of points, and certainly his lead at the top might be at stake.
Absolutely, Salty. If you're at the top, you kind of want to conserve your lead at this point. Just try to keep yourself alive as long as possible, and then take the fights that only really matter, and you're sure that you can win. But yeah, you don't always have that luxury in a battle royale, and that's what this game is all about. Coming up on Nido with the MP40 in hand. Let's see if he decides to push here or not. Dragger, for now, is going to have his shotgun in his hands, and the time turner is going to be forced out eventually from him. And he coming up on he will get back inside the zone and inside the circle. So he's going to stay alive here, but Dragger is also closing in on his location. Kamina, well, he's going to take out his MP40. Drag is going to have to heal himself back up, taking a fair amount of damage from the blue zone as well. The time turner will be popped to try and take this fair fight, but Drag is going to be the one who's successful because he got help from elsewhere on the map. I believe someone else was also shooting at Kamina Pannai there, and as a result, Draga was able to pick that kill up. Otherwise, at that range, I don't think the double barrel shotgun can do enough work to get a kill in 2 quick shots. Elsewhere on the map, though, Money Kicks with the Groza is able to find himself a kill. Glad to see this man still alive with 24 players still remaining in the mix, but he's going to have to do a lot better to get himself into the top 8. Now, the circle, Salty, it's hard shifting towards bridge, and I have to say, it's been a long time since I've seen a bridge finish between Pochinok and Sentosa, and boy oh boy, our bridge finish is exciting. It can go anywhere. It can go on the water, it can be on top of the bridge, it can be on the land itself. Where are these players going to move? That is the question.
You know what, Floki? The last time I saw a bridge finish, there were a lot of players who tried and survived their way inside the water. They wanted to avoid any sort of fight on land and wanted to be, safe inside the water. But then the circle immediately shift back in the next iteration towards the land, and those players, they were completely dead. And I just hope that something of that sort doesn't really happen in this one. But Ankit 99, he's still on the bridge. The grenade, though, from Fort Chester, it forces out, I believe, player number 26. I might be wrong in reading the number. Oh, I'm right. It is player number 26. He forced him off the building, but I don't really think that he could actually get the kill. Jester needs to move in. I guess this has to be a gun duel. Both of them have close range monsters, MP40 and a shotgun. IDFC Yash, he really wants to get close to get his shot connected, because those jump peaks with the shotguns, if you connect, that is a direct kill. You don't even have to connect a second bullet. And then there is Radebhai for providing company. Radebhai, though, didn't have a good game in the last match, but in this map, he did survive. Even though there are 22 players alive, I guess, after the 4th circle onwards, I guess, we're going to breeze past a lot of these players, and it is going to be pretty crazy how this thing is going to boil down. 4th Jester, as well as his opposition, both of them, dropping shields as well as glue walls to protect themselves. I guess this gives 4th Jester an opening, but the shotgun howls louder than the MP40, and suddenly IDFC Yash finds himself a kill, but Radebhai is quick to counter. He realizes the fact that IDFC Yash is going to be involved in some reloads as well as some other stuff, I guess, like looting and stuff. So Radhebai might just be able to capitalize on that, but he doesn't really realize there is Rudra as well. And Rudra takes the sweet time in the world to eliminate Radhebai off the server. And right now, Radhebai will find himself reeling in terms of the points table. Elsewhere on the map, Evil FF, he was the one who actually got the booyah in the first game. He finds himself in a very, very awkward position in between glue walls. He needs to heal himself up, but I guess there isn't another offense waiting already for him. He has to take on player number 2 though, and with glue walls separating them, I'm not really sure. But this fight is going to happen pretty quick. With 2 kills already, Evil FF is in a very good position in terms of the points table. I guess if he comes up with good performances in next games, he will find himself in a good position. But for that, I guess he needs to survive.
Yeah. So I mean, can be a bit of a problem, Salty, because the circle is quite open. If you get yourself on top of the bridge right now, you're going to be in a good spot for the upcoming next circle. But yeah, for that you're going to have to really work hard, because this open bridge area is being marked by King's DV and his SVD. Evil in the meantime is gonna try to heal himself back up, but we're gonna turn our attention towards Kallu. Or Kallu ke haath mein SVD hai, not the best weapon for close range, but the double vectors are, and the double vectors do so much work in such a short amount of time. Dekh Kallu yahan pe dusri kill secure kar payega, and no, Luffy actually jumping and peeking him with the Max 7 is gonna be able to find the kill. And now with the circle closing in, we're gonna know exactly who's in favor and who's not. Ankit is just chilling in the water in the meantime, and look at that circle, Salty. It closes in once again on the bridge in the water, and that is exactly where Ankit is. Ankit does not really need to move at all. Everyone else though, they will have to, Salty. There are only 5 players remaining here, and I'm not too sure who has the advantage as of yet. But King's DV, if he stays alive for a little bit longer, he can be the guy who wins it all. He is on top of the bridge. Now remember, if you go from the bridge into the water, you certainly are not going to take any damage. But for that, you need to make sure there's no one on the beach, because when you do that, you are open to being shot while you're in the air, and you don't want that to happen to you. In the meantime, Ankit99, he is going to stay here for the time being. Has the grenade launcher in his hand, along with the Groza. Let's see if he's actually able to connect his shots. Well, that grenade launcher at this distance can do a fair amount of work, but King's DV is going to drop a glue wall. He's going to drop another one to try and get close, and Ankit is going to start firing away. The Groza in his hands, along with the grenade launcher. Which weapon does he decide to use? Well, for the time being, Aris is going to be able to pick up a kill with the Stair Orc, but King's DV on 6 HP, trying to survive. Zone closing in. He's not going to be able to do so. Ankit99 picks up the kill with the Groza, and now SRV Luffy, Ankit99, and Aryash are caught in a 3-way Mexican standoff. Well, Arya, she's going to be the first one to fall, and Luffy is the one who is downstairs. He has a surfboard. Ankit does not. This is going to be problematic for him. He needs to get inside to the center of the circle. And yeah, Luffy is certainly going to be having a good time. I like this drop by Ankit, though. If he can find the angle onto Luffy, he would be in a world of trouble here. He can't dress himself back up. He needs to stay on the surfboard. That grenade being dropped is not going to connect onto Luffy's position, and Luffy keeping himself alive, and now Ankit will eventually drop, but he has no surfboard, Salty. He's going to try to swim. He's not going to stay alive. The time turner is going to get popped, though. He's going to be able to keep... Wait, he does have a surfboard. He is going to be able to get himself on top of it. And now he's trying to fight against Luffy. He is the better shot on water. And Ankit99 is the one who finds himself the booyah. That was amazing. Ankit, great job there with the surfboard, trying to float and keep himself alive. I didn't think that he had picked one up for himself, but he had. And then he drops down into the water after he knows Luffy's positioning, after he knows he's forced out some resources. In the meantime, Luffy's just chilling, thinking that, he can just wait for the firefight to come to him. But when it does, he's not ready for it. And Ankit is the one who ends up winning.
Oh my god, Floki, we talked about this earlier. There was only one player who dropped in Sentosa. It was Ankit. I guess there were 2 players who dropped in Sentosa, and one player just entered onto the mainland, and this guy, Ankit99, he held on his position. Boy, oh boy, he held on his position like forever. Coming up on night once again. This fight was really cool, I guess. Breaking the glue wall, getting the kill. It was pretty easy for Coming up on night. He has done that time and time again. But this was exactly where the action happened. This kill on Asim, though, was pretty cool as well. The grenade bounced off the glue wall, but it did actually explode in the right time. Coming up on night was probably shut down in this particular fight. I'm not really sure what happened. We'll have to actually wait and watch what happened, to be honest.
Oh wait,
Yeah, he
oh,
was
oh
shut
my
down.
God. Okay, so Drago actually did connect the 2 shots on him. So yeah, he connected 2 shots on him, and then he was able to connect 2 more with the reload. Didn't think Kamana Panay was expecting that. I mean, yeah, that's the thing about the double barrel shotgun. Its burst damage is so high even at that distance, and because the reload time is not the highest in the world, you can actually get away doing things like this. That's why so many people prefer to buy it. You know, that's why so many people prefer picking it up. It's one of the best weapons there is in the game, and yeah, when you have a weapon like that in your hands, you can certainly do a fair amount of work. But you have to say the double vectors are not too bad either. Kalu was able to pick up a kill for himself at close range, and yeah, this circle, man, I absolutely loved it. I love seeing water finishes on Bermuda. I think some of the craziest things that can happen on this map, and it happened this time.
Yeah. It is certainly one of the craziest things, and I guess King's DV was the only one who could actually compete with Ankit99 in getting territory on the bridge. He did his job quite well, I would say, but Ankit99, he was just better. And once again, this drop from Ankit99, it was just so good. Luffy was exactly below him. Ankit99 didn't really want to drop in straight onto the water. He wanted to, take his sweet time in the world to analyze what's going on, find out where Luffy is, and this is exactly where he got to know where he is. He did try and connect a grenade, but it didn't really do so. I think the water in this particular stream is pretty shallow because the grenade did bounce off Loki. I'm not really sure how that works,
Yeah.
but but this shield was really important. I guess this allowed him to ride on his surfboard, and once he did that, I guess there was no fight whatsoever. He was completely superior to Luffy and got himself a really good booyah. Asim still at the top, even though he has sacrificed his lead by quite a while. Like Evil, once again coming back up. Like he was back up. I guess he was at the top of the pile after the first game. After the fourth game, he finds himself once again closing in on the top with 1770 points. Only 30 points off the top, Loki. What do you have to say about it?
I mean, this match is so close, Salty. I mean, this best of 7 has been insanely close from the very start, and as time progresses, it seems that the difference of points between all of these players is reducing. I mean, look at the top 12 players right now. You know, if you go from the first place to 8th place, the point difference is only 350. That's actually quite doable. That's actually quite recoverable for someone like Dorkabi or AB Jonty. All they really have to do is try and stay alive as long as possible. You know, get those amazing number of placement points. It can be pretty easy to do. We've seen Asim, we've seen Radevai, we've seen X-Mania be eliminated very early on in fights, and yeah, I mean, when those kind of things happen, you get yourself opportunities to perform better. But Salty, I have to say, there's still 3 more maps remaining. There's still Kalahari, Purgatory and Bermuda again, so anything could happen. I don't want to pass any judgments just yet. लेकिन अगर हमारे दर्शक जानना चाहते हैं कि कौन यहाँ पे विजेता होगा, तो आपको यहाँ पे ट्यून इन रहना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि मैं और सॉल्टी एक छोटा सा ब्रेक लेके वापस आएंगे. तब तक आप देख रहे हैं MediaTek presents the Free Fire Gaming Masters 2021 powered by JioGames. हम मैप नंबर 5 के साथ बस कुछ ही देर में लौटेंगे. लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, देवी और सज्जनों, और हमारे सारे दर्शकों का एक बार फिर से स्वागत है। मीडियाटेक प्रेजेंट्स द फ्री फायर गेमिंग मास्टर्स क्वेस्ट फॉर द बेस्ट 2021 पावर्ड बाय जियो गेम्स में। मेरा नाम है फ्लोकी, मेरे साथ है सॉल्टी, कानी की बीटीएल, डैन द बॉट, बिग फैट पैंडा एंड रोली। और हम हमारे बेस्ट ऑफ 7 के 5वें मैप पे आ चुके हैं। सॉल्टी, हम लोग वापस से कालाहारी पर जाएंगे और इस बार प्लेन की उड़ान शुरू हो रही है काउंसिल हॉल पे और खत्म हो रही है द सब पे।
Yeah, I mean, Kalahari has been more aggressive than Bermuda, certainly, because of the fact that I guess more of the players try and tend to drop in limited number of locations, and that kind of creates more density of players. I'm trying to be more scientific about it, but it is the same logic everywhere. And Kalu, once again, and just have a look at it. Deadshot finds someone right in front of him. I guess he reduces War God Ashu to just a sliver of HP. I just wonder how is he even surviving at this point. Elsewhere on the map, I guess Kalu is also going on with the fight, but Deadshot, he really wants to chase down Ashu. The first blood has been drawn by Money Kicks. Luffy was quick to take down Kamina Panna as well, and that is a shocker for me. I mean, I didn't really expect Kamina Panna to go down so early, but these early fights are really unpredictable, Floki. Getting weapons on your hand as well as finding yourself a right cover or a right position, things are so important in terms of taking an early fight. And certain times I guess it is also, also kind of depends on a little bit of luck.
Absolutely, Salty. I mean, luck is something that you create. You know, opportunity meets expertise. That's what some people say luck is. But your expertise needs to be high enough to recognize those opportunities. So I guess you could say it's a two-way. It's a two-way street. You know, I mean, you could very easily get very lucky, but for you to get lucky, you need to recognize that you're getting lucky and you're getting opportunities. And yeah, that's what luck is. I mean, that's at least how I describe luck. But yeah, let's see how these teams are gonna play out Kalahari. This time around, we only have 40 players in the lobby. The circle is gonna be forming soon enough, so we should have a look at what that's gonna look like. But we have a very decent spread of players this time around. You know, no high density towards any one particular part of the map. I guess you could say that the center is somewhat slightly less populated compared to the edges, but that's almost always been the case. You know, nobody really likes to go to the center, and when you know, we see a couple of players dropping into the center, everyone drop towards the center.
Certainly. Once again, player number 46, that is Evil FF. A lot of responsibilities is on his shoulder to try and kind of, hold on to the position that he created. When you actually get a booyah on the first map, a lot of players do want to target you because they really want to bring you down. I don't really think that happens in between matches, like in the third or the fourth match. Even if you win a third or the fourth game, I don't think that a lot of players will try and mark you down. But when it is the first game, I feel that a lot of attention is on you, and therefore carrying on the same momentum gets really, really difficult. And the fact that Evil FF has been consistent as well as I would say influential in all of the games that he's played, it just shows how his mindset is. It just shows the strength of character.
Absolutely. I mean, the biggest thing about you know, being that first player who gets the kill or the second player who gets the kill is that everyone's gonna remember your name, everyone's gonna know what you look like, and you know, there certainly is a psychological effect to this, right? I mean, if you see someone, you know, let's say you're playing a game of Free Fire, you turn your attention towards the guy who got first blood. Now, suddenly everyone's gonna be watching him, everyone's gonna be looking out for him because it's not like first blood gives you a big advantage, but you know, if you do end up getting first blood, I mean, you know, your name's going to be up there in the banners and everyone's going to be looking at you. And yeah, you certainly have to be aware of, you know, not giving away your position too easily. Because I have to say, you know, people start looking out for you a bit more, I guess. Could be wrong, though. You know, that's not always the case. People play differently. But maybe there's a case to be made for, you know, the psychological effect of getting first blood. That could be a thesis paper on its own.
Certainly, I guess, you know, it can be a thesis paper by Floki, helped by Salty and Crips. You have a lot of... It can be a project worked up by a lot of casters, theory crafting how a first blood can affect players' mentality, but certainly Bidhan wasn't really in the right state of mind because he kind of jump peaked pretty late and Ultron just seized the opportunity and got himself a kill. as far as I can look at the map, every other player is involved in the duel at the moment. And I guess this is something which is really, really intriguing. Player number 24 and player number 46. This is a face-off which I haven't really seen in a while. Like, I don't really recognize player number 23, but I do recognize Evil FF. And he's been on the right end of most of the duels that he has fought. But we have to see if he can actually make anything out of Kalahari, because that has been the map where he hasn't really been that much influential. Bermuda,
Yeah.
for certain, he has been the king of it. But in Kalahari as well as in Purgatory, he's yet to assert the same dominance that he does on Bermuda.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem about Kalahari is that, Kalahari is so much verticality on this map. There's so many altitudes that you need to look out for. It can be quite difficult to account for all of it while moving inside. And yeah, most certainly, taking a high ground and just, holding your position can be a very good strat. But to do that, you really have to get very, very good at, defending those places, because high grounds in this map tend to be quite open. So, anyone can come in and claim it for themselves. But they certainly also give you a big advantage in terms of the oversight that they provide. So, yeah, we'll see exactly what ends up happening. But for the time being, it seems that we're going to have some action in the maze. Luffy, Rajdeep, and Uzef all in close proximity of each other, but Uzef is making a run for it. He does not want to be any part of this because, well, let's be real, early game kills don't really mean anything. I mean, they could mean anything. They could
Certainly.
mean something if you survive, but yeah, surviving after you give up a gunshot, good luck with that.
That is so true. A lot of these fights, players don't really hit their first shot, and after their first shot misses, you're almost as good as dead meat. And that means taking that fight where you have a 50-50 chance, because these aren't really squad fights. There isn't really a lot of strategy going on. It is almost always a 1v1 duel, and when it is a 1v1 duel, all that matters is your individual skill. And as much as I like to
Yeah,
say that individual skill is on you, you're a human after all, and making errors is just a part of it. Most of the professional players, even sometimes they're out of form and they don't hit their bullets right. So
yeah,
being strategic and approaching a fight in a certain way is something, and always depending on your solo skills is something else, and that's something which always happens in solo mode. Just have a look at it. Fury, he was on the right end of everything. Aryan showed his back towards Fury, and Fury just obliged. And that is what happens, I guess. In 1v1 fights, you always have to be at the top of your game, and something that can not always be the case. And this is the reason
yeah.
why I always say that in this particular form of the game, it is better to stay silent, be quiet, and enter the as much, try to go as deep as you can in the game.
Oh no, what is happening here? Awesome, he's gonna turn around and get the kill with a double barrel shotgun. His opponent tried making a clever play by blocking himself off with the glue walls, but Asim was quick to react with the double barrel shotgun and did a lot of work there at close range. Now the second circle of Kalahari is often the one where we see a lot of action brewing out, because the first circle covers pretty much the entirety of the map, so most people are not incentivized to move. But then the second circle shows itself and almost everyone is out of the circle. So yeah, we see a lot of fights brewing out. Money Kicks though, doing quite well for himself. 2 kills this early on, but still really has not had the impact he was hoping he was hoping that he'd have. Radhe Bhai in the meantime was sitting in the center of the circle, just chilling. But let's see what else is it that he's capable of. Fourth Jester, Woodpecker in his hand. Definitely has the advantage in mid-range combat, but yeah, I wonder what he has for close range. That's gonna matter. I think I see a double barrel shotgun and it's held. So yeah, he's certainly gonna have a good time in the short range department as well. But can he actually get to that point? Given his position, he is not in the best of spots. There are players around him, so could easily spot him out. Kalahari, not known for being a map with very good places to hide and take cover. It is a map that has a lot of open area and has a lot of potential to not be held properly. Compare that to something like Bermuda, where you have places like double balcony housed and L-shaped houses and whatnot, and yeah, life on that map is a lot easier.
Certainly, I guess it is supposed to be that way. I'm not even sure, but life is supposed to thrive on green, lush fields. At least that is something which I learned from my history class. And on deserts, it is definitely not ideal, I guess. And that is the reason why I guess these maps are made this way. Don't you think that's metaphorical? Like that's something
Mhm.
that might be the case?
What might be the case? In what
Like,
sense?
yeah, like, all right, we'll talk about it later on, I guess. Fourth Jester gets
Okay.
another kill for himself, but at the moment, I guess Mr. Brackets and Fury is very, very close to each other, and I guess the fight might screw up in a few moments. So, getting back to my case once again. So, my theory is that life is supposed to be more luscious on green fields because you get farming, you get water, and everything. And that is the
Mhm.
reason why
Oh yeah.
Bermuda, being a much more greener map, it has more houses and more compounds. The deserts, it is supposed to be harsh, it is supposed to be rough on you, and that is the reason why things might actually get tougher for these players. I guess that is the reason, like, that is how these maps are designed, keeping that in mind. That is just my theory, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good theory. I mean, I do believe that that can be the case many a times. But yeah, King's DV, I wonder what he's up to. Now, Kalahari is a map where you can get really lucky and hold on to places like this compound near refinery, and that gives you a lot of oversight. But the biggest problem is that even when you're holding these angles, you're just so open to being bombarded by utility that you can't really hold on to that place forever. So, more if it comes down to being stealthy and being quiet as well, my opinion at least. I mean, if you get yourself a good position, you know you're close to the circle, you can just wait things out, and up until the third circle, you don't really need to really move. You can tank some of the blue zone damage to delay your rotation slightly and get a better position. But yeah, we'll see exactly what is it that ends up happening with regards to that. Player number 36, though, in the meantime, Bullet Raja is going to be able to keep himself alive for the time being, but you see what happens to him eventually. For now, Asim might be facing off against a player number 46 here, which is Evil. And Evil, he was the one who got himself the very first booyah of the day, but like you said, Salty, earlier, there's a big marker on his head right now, and no one's really going to let him continue his reign of dominance. We'll see if he can
Certainly,
force
I
his
guess
hand, though, anyway.
Asim,
Yeah,
this is
go on.
probably going to be the fight between the top two. Asim is probably at the top. Evil FF is at the second spot. So certainly this is a very, very good fight. The fight between number one and number two. Our Fury has been eliminated, and that does raise some eyebrows. But Evil FF, he moves away from Asim and securing his position into a building. But I'm not really sure if that is going to help him for a long distance. Asim has no idea about Evil's position. He's still trying to break that glue wall, trying to find some intel on Evil's position. I guess he will be disappointed to find that there is no one there. Mr. Brackets is here as well. Bullet Roger is here as well. Rotation for Evil FF is not going to be easy at all. Mr. Jester finds himself a good compound inside the circle, and I guess he will stay here for some particular time because he has a sniper rifle to work with, and I don't really think players are close enough to pop in those grenades. And as you can see, player number 15 being all brushed up with bullets at the moment. Jester with the DMR trying to do as much damage as they can. Mr. Brackets
Yeah.
being eliminated. I guess it was Asim who took him down. And Asim is a kind of a player who's going to pave his way all along. Like, no matter who comes in, in front of him, he's going to eliminate them and find his way towards inside the circle. And that is something which I really appreciate about him. But close by, I guess there is going to be another opposition for player Jester. At the moment, X-Mania, who has still been relevant in this game, he takes down another player and pops off the glue wall almost immediately to try and heal himself up as well. He'll try and loot, and then I guess he will move forward. But then this is going to be a very, very tough run because Radebhai is going to gatekeep him almost from the center of the circle. Just imagine, Floki, what can X-Mania even do in this situation? I can't think of a solution unless and until
Yeah.
you can execute Radebhai.
I mean, he does have a lot of glue walls, so the solution is pretty simple and straightforward. The question is, does he want to do it anyway? That's the big question. Indecision can also cost you very precious seconds, and now with the zone closing in, X-Men is pretty much going to be forced to make a choice, and if he hasn't thought of what he's going to do already, then he could be in a world of trouble. Now, he's going to throw down the first glue wall, get himself deeper inside the circle, but he's still worried about Radivai and flanks coming in from other directions. And look at this, he's trying to take a fight, secure himself some sort of advantage before he has to go deeper, but he's still taking his sweet time and trying to make sure that he can get in there, and he will get in there eventually. The next circle is, on him. He is inside of it, but yeah, this next circle is not going to spare anyone, so it's going to come down to how well X-Mania can take fights. Glad to see him still alive towards the end. Now, there are 5 players still remaining in the mix, Kings DV being one of them. I remember this guy had also gotten himself a booyah a couple of days ago, and you're watching him in the semi-finals, so he certainly is a very strong competitor. But Radivai and X-Mania are also not to be trifled with, not to mention that Asam is also in the mix. Kallu, I think this is the first time I'm seeing him coming in the top 5. I could be wrong though, पहले भी हो सकता है कि उन्होंने top 5 placement किया हो, but yeah, it's unlikely that has actually happened. Now the double barrel shotgun come in clutch. Radivai is going to be able to pick up the kill, and with that he's going to hop into the car, heal himself back up. I'm not sure it's the best idea in the world. He's actually going outside the door. Wait, what? No! Oh my god, Radivai! He was healing himself, so he could not turn his car in the nick of time, and as a result, he will be dying to the blue zone. Kallu, in the meantime, is going to be a happy survivor, as Asim is going to be eliminated to the blue zone as well. And I have to say, that was a very unfortunate ending for Radivai. I don't think I was expecting him to do something crazy like that, but at least he didn't carry 20 kill points to his opponents.
I mean,
oh
driving the car in the final circle is something, but driving it that bad? Wow. That was hilarious. That was a hilarious moment, though. I agree to the fact. But Kallu did find himself in a very good spot, getting 2 kills right off the bat. Asim got 4 kills in this game. He is still as relevant as he always was. I wonder where is Evil, though. Kings DV with 5 kills in the 3rd spot. I guess this match might actually elevate King's position, because he has got these top 5 positions lately quite a while right now. I'm not really sure how many matches did he finish top 5, but he certainly did so in more than one. And this was the place where Bidan got knocked out. Ultron was just there in time to just shoot him down once again.
Yeah, man, I have to say Ultron, he couldn't do a number that back then, but yeah, I have to say, this game was a little bit weird for me towards the end. Radivai, his car shenanigans is something that's going to go down in my mind for quite a while. Just zooming outside his central area, just running away. That was so absurd. I've never seen anything like it. I understand what his thought process was. He's like, I'm going to be safer in the car and I'm going to get myself back up to full health. But I think you've got to account for the fact that you also have to turn eventually, and couldn't do so in the nick of time, and I ended up dying to the zone. So, yes, I guess maybe that's what he wanted. Maybe he just didn't want to give away his skill points, because that can end up making a big difference too. Maybe that was an intentional choice, but yeah, I have to say, maybe it was not the best choice in the world.
Yeah, right. I mean, see, definitely riding a car is something, but I didn't even see, like, handling a car is certainly difficult in this game, but he didn't even turn it. He didn't even turn the steering at the right time. He went out of the circle completely and just, I don't know, it was pretty weird. It was pretty absurd. And Asim will find himself at the top once again with 2,420 points, re-establishing the lead that he had once. Luffy comes second, surprisingly, with 2,180 points. Ankit, 99. Definitely, this guy has been doing some job. A lot of heavy lifting coming in from him with 2,115 points. Evil drops down on the points table to 2,065 points. So definitely, this is something which is to be noting right now at this point. Floki, Asim, he almost lost the lead to Evil pretty, like, just in the previous match, but then in this match, with his consistency, he re-establishes that once again. We have had 5 games, and Asim has a total of 2,420 points. That is almost 500 every game. Like,
yeah,
imagine having an average like that.
It is a pretty high average, Salty. I mean, Asim has certainly been a consistent performer so far. But the problem is that even if you perform consistently, a good performance by someone like Evil, Ankit, or Luffy could just, send them flying across the points table, and you could easily be relegated to lower places. So the only real thing you can do is make some sort of a goal. Like, I want to get like top 8 or top 5 consistently every single time, and then just try to do that. I think you'll have much better odds of winning that way. But yeah, Salty, with that out of the way, we are going to be taking a short break and coming back with game number 6. Don't go anywhere, folks. You guys are watching MediaTek Presents the Free Fire Gaming Masters powered by JioGames. My name is Floki, with me was Salty, and we'll be back with map number 6, that's Purgatory, in just a bit.
Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 800U. Get ready for incredible experiences from this ultra-connected chip. Featuring dual 5G SIM for 5G connectivity that's always ready to go. High-quality voice and video calls. 5G carrier aggregation that keeps you connected. By keeping the 5G modem in the chip and using MediaTek's 5G ultra-safe power savings technology, we've created the world's most power-efficient smartphone 5G modem, boosting your battery life. With faster peak speeds, the Dimensity 800U accelerates launch time for your favorite games and apps. Use your voice assistant for scheduling and reminders in the language you prefer. With Dimensity 800U, smartphones feature supersized cameras and HDR imaging. Plus, its integrated AI processor helps enhance pictures and 4K videos in day or night. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 1000 Plus. Our flagship 5G integrated chip gives you immense CPU performance, stunning graphics, and incredible AI. You can game flawlessly, load apps faster, and multitask smoother, all on 5G. Pick up your camera and shoot stunning HDR pictures and videos, or go out at night with perfect results every time. Benefit from powerful AI and the latest MediaTek Hyper Engine gaming technology. This predictive networking enhances your smartphone experience and dramatically reduces latency, provides rapid responsiveness that shaves milliseconds off touchscreen input, and enhances power management that lets you game longer. While ultra-fast displays at your fingertips give you the edge, MediaTek Mirror Vision display technology brings cinema-grade visuals into video streaming and playback. Use 5G connectivity that's both fast and power efficient. MediaTek 5G UltraSave is built in to extend your battery life, while dual 5G SIM support gives you 5G that's always ready to go and make voice and video calls with the highest quality. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. We're bringing 5G to everyone. Across mobile, automotive, IoT, in the home, and beyond. Introducing MediaTek Dimensity. MediaTek Dimensity is at the forefront of powering the 5G revolution. It's about what we can achieve when barriers between devices disappear and connectivity becomes seamless and instantaneous. It will change market, industries, and our everyday. Through Dimensity, we're spurring product, app, and service innovations that will enable the true possibilities of 5G connectivity. When you see Dimensity, know that MediaTek has built an unrivaled mix of technologies. The industry's fastest 5G connectivity, super fast processors, and incredible gaming. Exciting multimedia, the industry's most powerful AI cores, and impressive imaging. With MediaTek Dimensity, expect incredible. G is for gaming. Introducing MediaTek Helio G95. It's paired with MediaTek's Hyper Engine game technology, which goes beyond the chip and tunes your whole smartphone. Because every millisecond matters in the gaming world. Whether you're streaming video, chatting with friends, or playing games, you can rely on us for responsive experiences that always impress. With in-chip innovations, all your wireless gear will connect reliably and retain their best performance. Maximize your everyday mobile experience with advanced 4G connectivity and dual SIM. Improved video playback quality with cinema-grade visuals and support for multiple virtual assistants. Embrace AI super resolution for streaming video and teleconferencing, saving your 4G data and battery life. Capture incredibly detailed photos and superb night shots. Integrated with these advanced technologies, MediaTek Helio G95 does the hard work, ensuring your smartphone always keeps up with you, so that you can focus on the moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, देवी और सज्जनों और हमारे सारे दर्शकों का एक बार फिर से स्वागत है। MediaTek presents the Free Fire Gaming Masters Quest for the Best 2021 में powered by JioGames। मेरा नाम है फ्लूकी, मेरे साथ है सॉल्टी, रोली, बिग फैट पैंडा, कानी की BTL एंड नैंडरबॉट। और हम हमारे बेस्ट ऑफ 7 के 6th मैप पे आ चुके हैं। इस बार प्लेन की उड़ान शुरू होगी फायर ब्रिगेड पे और खत्म होगी क्रॉस रोड्स और मोट हाउस के बीच में। सॉल्टी, high tier loot zone being lumber mill, this makes the entire map quite accessible। मुझे लगता है कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा हम लोग शायद लोग क्वारी को इग्नोर करते हुए देखेंगे, बट given the flight path, even quarry is not that hard to get to.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, doesn't really matter if all the regions are accessible or not. Most of the players are still going to drop down in Brasilia and try and take as much compounds as they can. But then at Central, we have a lot of players dropping in, at least like 4 or 5 players the minimum. Bullet Raja going on in terms of the 1v1. I'm not really sure who the other player is. There's a lot of movement going on. Beautiful movement, I must say, because Bullet Raja, he hasn't been able to connect those shots really. He did inflict a lot of damage, but then I guess it's Abhay or probably Abhi. I'm not really sure who it is, but Ultron has spotted someone else as well, and this is going to be a fight which is between player number 10 and I guess player number 37. Doesn't really matter. Bullet Raja taking in loads of damage. Player number 4 jumping around with the MP40. I guess he is a tough nut to crack at the moment. Bullet Raja will try his level best to get this kill for himself. None of these players have first aid kits to heal themselves up. It is just a battle of patience. Who takes the first shot and who connects the first shot? That'll be the question. Who gets the answer first? I'm not really sure about that.
Well, it seems that for the time being, it should be player number 4 who gets the advantage here, but his HP is not the best to work with, and he's also boxed himself in with the help of the glue wall. So if he wants to make any aggressive maneuvers here, he's going to have to take that out first, but I think it's more likely he just jumps out of the window. But look at what Bullet Raja is doing. He's taking the fight to him. Abhay, does he know about this? I think he hears the footsteps coming in. But yeah, Bullet Raja, he almost fell there, and he's going to start jumping on the roof. I think he's giving away a fair amount of noise though, so he is going to know someone's coming in. Or is he? Wait, he actually does not. Wait, he destroys his own glue wall and gets the hell out of there, but he's run into player number 20, and now he's trying to stay alive. He does not have any weapons in his hands, just trying to maximize his sprint speed. But eventually he's going to have to take the fight. I don't think he has any more glue walls to work with, but he is a running man, and he's going to get himself to the house next door and hopefully get himself enough time to heal back up. Let's see if that actually ends up happening here. But yeah, Abhay, let's see if he can stay alive. Oh, Pro Boy and him, in the meantime, with a Thompson, is going to be able to secure a kill. And just like that, he's going to be able to put an end to someone else's misery. In the meantime, Abhay, I think he's actually gotten away with this one. So he's going to stay alive. But Bullet Raja and Ravi are going to be the ones who are going to fight this out. And Salty, Purgatory being Purgatory, we already have 37 players on the board. But boy, look at Brasilia, my man. There are so many players in there. Mount Villa, ignored. Golf course, ignored. Yeah. Seems that everyone just has a fascination for the houses in Brasilia.
Certainly, I guess. You know what? Like, certain places have more value. The same applies in the real estate territory. I guess if you go and buy a house in a particular place, if the place is more valuable than others, the same house will cost you more. And this is the same that happens here as well. The same house in Brasilia attracts more people than the same house in probably somewhere else. Let's say Central.
Yeah. I mean, Central is also one of the places that has a lot of houses, but the problem with Central is that because it is on the southernmost edge of the map, people prefer not to go there. They would much rather drop somewhere, close to Brasilia or somewhere near, how should I say, the ski lodge, or maybe sometimes even just a place near Quarry Marble Works. There we go. Sometimes they prefer dropping there instead because it's closer to the center. And if you look at Purgatory, the map is designed in such a way that the outskirts are meant to have some of the best loot, loot you can find compared to the innermost area, which is Brasilia. And because Brasilia is so strategically positioned, that's why so many players prefer dropping over here. Holding Brasilia, though, that's a completely different piece of cake. And yeah, surviving in Brasilia can be a huge pain in the butt.
Definitely, even for squads, holding Brasilia is not easy. Being a solo player, you don't have access to more than one compound, and that just makes your job much more easier. Ravi here, once again, getting a kill for himself. evil FF is out in this particular game of Purgatory. That leaves him with only one shot at redemption in the next game of Bermuda. Once again, something which he plays really, really well. I'm not really sure if he will be able to overcome all the difference that has been created as of yet, but hey, for sure he can try.
Yeah.
And once again, Bullet Raja will try and spray down Luffy once again, kind of screwing up the ADS, but then will recover back. I guess Luffy will have the sniper rifle to work with, I guess. If he gets a good peek at Bullet Raja, I guess he will get the shot connected, and that might, need a lot of damage. But I don't think that is his intention at the moment. I guess Luffy will try and survive just because of the fact that Central is so off the center of the map. You would want to loot and rotate as early as possible, even if you have the circle on you, which most of the times you don't. Even if you have the circle on you, you know it for a fact that most of the times, 99% of the times, the circle won't be there in its next iteration. So you have to move, irrespective of what.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, as a result, like, that's why many a times you'll see people just go and occupy the centralmost compound in a particular circle, because that way they guarantee themselves some semblance of, safety. You're at least going to be close to the edge of the circle, or you're at least going to be in a spot where you can rotate to the next circle very easily, because, the path from the center of the circle towards the edge of the circle is going to be the shortest from the center. But Akka, oh my god, Aryash is lagging. And if you don't want that to happen to yourself, then do get yourself a phone with a MediaTek processor in it, because yeah, you're not going to be facing what Aryash is facing. You can देखते कि यहाँ पे क्या होता है exactly, Salty. We are still perched up over Brasilia here. देखते हैं कि यहाँ पे जो भी teams अपने आप को ज़्यादा देर तक जिंदा रख पाएंगी या नहीं. लेकिन एक चीज तो है, अगर उनको यहाँ पे लंबे टाइम तक सर्वाइव करना है, तो उनको अपनी पोजीशन होल्ड करके रखनी पड़ेगी. If they take unnecessary fights, if they venture out, or if they step a bit too far forward, they could very easily get punished. And agar aapke paas information nahi hai and you try to step out, well, then that's just asking for suicide. I mean, that's just asking to be killed. That's just asking for a stray sniper player or a stray sniper rifle to fire a bullet in your general direction.
Definitely, you don't want to get ripped apart even when you don't have any sort of chance to defend yourself. Some strategy on Purgatory that I feel that can actually work is dropping near campsite, because that part of the map is relatively empty. Because most of the times, wait a second, Dragger, this is a kill which you shouldn't really get, to be honest. No one is supposed to climb on those windows and stay there for such a long period. Dragger just uses DMR to get a free kill for himself. I mean,
yeah,
definitely we've seen awkward things happen here and there, but this was probably the most uncertain kill. Like, I don't really understand why the player was on the window, giving Dragger a clear line of sight.
Yeah, I don't think he was aware that Dragger was, looking at his position. I think he was too afraid of getting hit at by, getting hit from the staircase and stuff. So that's why he wasn't really moving a lot. But for the time being, he's gonna stay inside the house, and Dragger will too. The circle closing in. You'll have a quick look at where he's gonna close in after that. But for the time being, I have to say, this Brasilia finish, it could end up being a possibility given the way the circle is moving in. It is quite close to the center, so wouldn't be too surprised to see the next circle form somewhere on top of Brasilia.
Yeah. I mean, that has been the case for most of the times, but here itself, Dragger finds himself in a very, very awkward position. I guess he was caught off guard by player number 38, who is hot on his tails right now. It is Aryash who will hunt Dragger down, to be honest. That almost caught me off guard, because I haven't really seen someone chase a player like that. Aryash knew he really dealt a lot of damage on his opponent, and he wanted to capitalize on that. And right now he needs to work with more. He has player number 13, who I guess is Anurag the best. I might be wrong, but Aryash does know for a fact that that player is too low as well, and he's going to chase him down. Glue walls being popped up, shields being popped up. Can it do any sort of help to Anurag? I'm not really sure. Player number 38 and 13 go one-on-one, and Anurag the best with the shotgun takes down Aryash. That was not supposed to happen, Floki. Anurag was surviving with a sliver of HP. Wait, Wait, what's happened? Okay, finally he took a shot.
Yeah, Anurag got eliminated, but I'm not sure who got the kill. He might have just fallen to his death. What? I just saw the kill feed and it said Anurago Best got eliminated. Who eliminated him? That's gonna be a mystery for the scientists to uncover years and years from now when they happen to watch this particular VOD on YouTube. But I have to say, the way
Yeah.
things are going right now, it's gonna be a little bit difficult for these guys to continue and for these guys to continue to try and be inside the circle. So the circle did close in over Brasilia, Salty. It has a little bit of fields in it, but most of Brasilia is still inside the circle. And I have to say, if the circle does manage to close over Brasilia, all of these players are going to be thanking their stars because, yeah, Brasilia is one of those places that, it can be pretty easy to hold given the compound or given the house you find yourself in.
Mm-hmm. I mean, certainly, I guess camping in Brazil is something which can actually get pretty easy. If you don't really make a noise after capturing a compound, you can survive for a long duration. But then with so many players in there, I don't really think that's a possibility, or rather a sustainable possibility that can actually work in 1 or 2 games. But can it work continuously? I'm not really sure about that. Player number 7, player number 6, pretty close together. Asim is here playing the edge of the circle gameplay. This guy has been so aware of his surroundings that it really makes me think that the players who are dropping at the center and taking fights right from the get-go, they're just doing it completely wrong. Just look at Asim. He has more kill points than anyone else, and he still is not really going that aggressive in terms of engaging in fights or moving on to the final circle. X-Mania though, this guy is a complete beast, and I love the fact, even though he's
Yeah.
not really relevant in terms of the points table, I really love his playstyle, how natural, how aggressive it is. Even though I say that patient gameplay is something which really works in solo gameplay, and it does, because we can see for a fact that Xperia is not really in very high in terms of the points table. But
Yeah.
just from a personal point of view, I just love this guy's playing style. It's so natural and it is so agile. His movement is just impeccable.
Yeah. It certainly is, and I also like the move he made there with the M79. He takes it out, he launches out a couple of shells to waste the ammo, so anyone who comes across that gun is not going to be able to use it. But he might not have done it in a good situation. Oh no, look at this. This is going to be a big problem for X-Mania. He's going to try and go around and try and get the kill, but he's not going to be too successful in that endeavor. Player number 30 though. He's going to be able to box himself in with the help of the glue walls, and X-Minia's glue walls is going to work against him. He needs to get in close to try and find those kills. Is he going to be successful? Yes, he is. I'm not sure what he was taking damage from. I think that might have been a pistol, but X-Mania is going to be able to keep himself alive for the time being and heal back up. But yeah, he still has a long ways to go before he gets inside the next circle, and it is going to be a Brasilia finish, Salty. A Brasilia finish that I don't think we've seen in quite a while. Let's see what ends up happening though. Only third circle has shown itself so far. There's still 2 more to go. And once we see those circles, we're going to know exactly who has the advantage and who does not. OP dead shot. Well, he does have a revolver in his hand with a scope, but yeah, landing a cool shot with it can be a little bit tricky. In the meantime, King's DV, he's eyeing up X-Mania. Now remember, X-Mania is going to be running out from the open towards the center of the map, so it's going to be a little difficult for him to drop those glue walls and get inside, but yeah, he's going to drop the first glue wall. That's not going to do him a lot of good, but the next few glue walls are going to start coming in. And he has so many to work with that he's going to make his life very simple. He's just going to keep dropping those glue walls, keep moving deeper and deeper inside the circle. Let's see if he's actually able to connect the kill though. King's DV standing strong. He's going to start running out when he realizes that X-Mania is quite close to his position, but King's DV is going to box himself up with the help of the glue wall, Salty. The double-barrel shotguns at this range can do a lot of work, but so can the double vectors. And if X-Mania starts moving in, he could find himself in a spot where he can kill King's DV. King's DV loses so much HP just revealing himself for 1 second. He's going to try to box himself in, but it's not a perfect box. It is an imperfect one. And he's going to have to account for X-Mania closing in. But I think after giving away the sound of the med kit, he will be able to keep himself alive. Both back at full HP now. King's DV. He is trying to jump peek X-Mania. He could certainly get the kill with the double barrel shotgun. It does a lot of damage to the face, but he also has to be careful of X-Mania just casually charging out with the double vectors and shooting him in the face. I mean, certainly there's a lot more room for error on the vector than there is on the double vectors. The high fire rate makes it so that even if your aim isn't exactly precise, you can still get those kills. But yeah, X-Mania, he's gonna have a bit of a hard time trying to make that work. Let's see what happens when he gets out of the trailer and goes back towards King's DV. Well, now he's just gonna hold.
Yeah, I guess that's the right idea because the circle shifted close to both of these players, and I guess it is in their best interest to try and hold and not just be trying to overextend themselves and be overly aggressive. Elsewhere on the map, we have kills all over the place. Luffy got another one. I guess he's taking up Fury, who is also one of the good players in this lobby as well. So certainly Purgatory is not something which a lot of these players would expect. Luffy is still out there with 2 kills in his name and 9 first it gets to work with. But X-Mania, he actually charges in, activates a shield. He knows that he can heal himself up and then just rush blindly. Even though the second blue wall comes in, I guess a shield will actually protect King's DB for quite a while. But then this guy, X-Mania, he is on fire right now. Asim, the cool, calm, composed table topper, is still trying to make his way inside. Will he survive? I'm not really sure about that. He's just running with 2 HP. He climbed on top of his opposition, didn't really give away his skill to him, but getting eliminated by the Blues, well, that is something which he will regret. But nonetheless, I guess once again his lead at the top might just be cut short, and that is something which he doesn't really want moving on to Bermuda. He had worked so hard to build on such a lead for so long, but then that grenade comes in from OP Deadshot. The grenade was as OP as his name was, and here we can see Cocoon after Cocoon, Deadshot having one for himself. Mr. Brackets trying to invade the house, I guess, that already has 2 players in it, Luffy as well as player 42. I don't think they'll be very welcoming. Badan as well as Luffy, both of them will be ready. Luffy already has a grenade in his hand. I guess I wonder how he's cooking it. It might just be pretty accurate. It definitely was, but didn't really connect. I guess it wasn't really in straight line of sight. But then the circle once again shifting onto the open area. This just makes life so much more difficult for these players, Floki.
Yeah, I mean, the circle hard shifting towards an open area is going to mean that it's going to be quite problematic for some of them to get to good cover, especially when Luffy is just peppering everyone with bullets. SNTFF is going to be knocked down, Zeph is going to be eliminated himself, and in the meantime, Mr. Brack is going to be able to find himself 2 quick kills. Luffy at close range trying to win the fight, will be successful. The Max 7 does the work. Money Kicks finding himself in 2nd place, or at least 3rd place for the time being, and Subin once again caught in a 3-way Mexican standoff. I think I've seen him be a part of this multiple times now. Luffy, he's going to put him out of his misery though, and now it's just going to be Money Kicks against him. Money Kicks, does he have the glue walls? Does he have time turner? Does he have all the things, all the tools he needs to close the distance and take the booyah? That is the more important question to ask. Well, the circle's going to start closing in, and if you're not in the center already, Money Kicks, now would be the time to start moving in. Now, Money Kicks does have, well, his weapons, but I'm not sure if he has enough glue walls to get to the center. The grenade being cooked, the time turner is not available. This could eliminate him, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Perfectly cooked grenade by Luffy is going to be served to Money Kicks on a platter, and whether Money Kicks likes it or not, he is going to be eating that and being eliminated in 2nd place. Luffy will find himself the 1st spot. The booyah belongs to him, and I have to say, he used his advantage very well. He knew that he is the only house overlooking the circle, and he just went berserk. He was not letting his opponent get away with anything. And Money Kicks, despite having 0 kills, is in 2nd place, along with Subin.
That is what does. I mean, that is what playing passive means. It isn't really like Money Kicks and Subin failed in either of their play, in either way, because they will get a lot of points, probably more than anyone who is below them, even if they have more kills than him. But it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, that is all that you're looking for. You're playing these games for points and not for kills. In Battle Royale, survival is the way to go and not just kills. So definitely, I don't think that their strategy or their approach to the game was wrong by any means. Once again, Aryash was beautiful in getting those kills for himself. He actually got him pretty low, but I guess in this instance, he was the one who actually got hunted Anurag
Yeah.
was pretty quick in rotating back and inflicting that shot with the shotgun, but instantly got traded off. Xmania was beautiful taking down King's TV. It was so good to watch. But then Asim, this was one of the comic moments in the game where he actually stepped on and climbed on his opposition. I'm not really sure how you do that, but eventually he didn't really give away his skill to his opposition, but to the play zone. So definitely not giving away 20 points to your opposition is something which is really good. Luffy had all the time in the world to work with. He knew that everyone else is busy fighting. Mr. Brackets was really unaware of Luffy's position. The way he dropped down and really got back on track, got back to in a good position to get Mr. Brackets out of the game was brilliant. And this cook, it is perfect. It is as good as salt-based steak. I mean,
Yeah.
just
I mean, that was-
just medium rare. Just medium rare. So Floki, I mean, that is exactly how I like my meat. And that grenade was an epitome, or rather epitome of brilliance.
Yeah. Absolutely. That grenade was perfectly calculated by Luffy. He saw that the time turner was used, and man, the difference between first place and sixth place is humongous now. It's at least 600 points worth of difference, and yeah, some of these players who are from 4 to 8 are gonna have to do a lot of work if they want to stay here, because I don't think all of these players are trailing too far behind in terms of positioning. Xmania still 11th place. This man has not really been able to do much. Radivai also in 10th place. He's only gonna have one shot, one opportunity to break into the top 8. Luffy, Sidance, I think he's going to be quite happy with the position he's found himself in. But we're not going to know who the definite winners are until the very next game, Salty. That is the beauty of Free Fire. Everybody still gets one more last chance on Bermuda. And if you want to find out who's going to be breaking into the top 8 and who's going to be getting removed, you need to stay tuned, because me and Salty are going to be back with a break in just a bit. लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, देवियों और सज्जनों और हमारे सारे दर्शकों का एक बार फिर से स्वागत है मीडियाटेक प्रेजेंट्स द फ्री फायर गेमिंग मास्टर्स क्वेस्ट फॉर द बेस्ट पावर्ड बाय जियो गेम्स में। मेरा नाम है फ्लूकी, मेरे साथ है सॉल्टी, रोली, बिग फैट पैंडा, काली की बीटीएल एंड डैन द बॉट। और हम हमारे बेस्ट ऑफ 7 के फिनाले पे आ चुके हैं। ओवर हियर the final 8 players who are going to be making their way towards the grand finals of the duos is going to be decided। और अगर आप जानना चाहते हैं कि कौन इनमें से बरकरार रह के अपने आप को ड्यूओस के ग्रैंड फाइनल में पाएगा, तो आपको ये मैच देखना होगा। सॉल्टी, प्लेन की उड़ान शिपयार्ड से शुरू होकर मार्स इलेक्ट्रिक पे खत्म हो रही है, मेकिंग मिल एंड केराटिन somewhat undesirable in terms of dropping there, but let's see if teams decide to make their way over those places anyway.
I mean, Mill and Keratin has been mostly avoided for most part of the tournament itself. Cape Town still might be a place where a lot of teams might try and go, but here in Bullseye, we have player number 43 and player number 5 square off. Even though I guess Radhebhai will try and fall back, but player number 43 is in a very good position where I guess a kill can actually be pretty possible. Channu Ji eventually did get taken down. I was really surprised, Floki. This player was so dominating yesterday, and today itself, Jannuchi had nothing really to offer. Just have a look. Radhebhai might just get a free kill for himself. He knows exactly where player number 43 is. I'm not really sure if he has some scopes on his gun, but surely, but for certain, he will need to connect those shots if he wants to get this particular kill.
Yeah. I mean, look at this positioning by Radhebhai. Now, Radhebhai is, on the high ground with the parafil, so he certainly has the advantage in that situation. But when the time turner runs out, so opponent could just very well get away from that engagement. Use that time turner as very good cover. But for the time being, Kings is going to be able to find himself a kill. And yeah, Radhebhai, he needs to win this one, Salty. He needs to get himself to a very good placement in this match if he wants to crack top 8, because otherwise, all the hard work he's done so far is going to be for naught. Let's see if he's actually going to succeed, though. Seems that for the time being, he's just very happy peppering bullets in LT or Per Boss's general direction. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that name, man. LTHY Per and then Boss as like, yeah, I don't even know what to call that anymore.
Let's say
I
boss.
think it was thought
Let's
as
settle on boss.
Yeah, Boss. Okay, that's what we're going to call him. We're going to call him Boss. In case you're wondering, I'm going to give you a bit of an insight into Bombay language, Salty. So, in Bombay, whenever you're speaking to anyone, boss is a term of respect. You call anyone boss. You don't call people sir in Bombay. You just call them boss. And boss immediately signifies that there is mutual understanding and respect between two people. So yeah, looks like boss is certainly earned my respect with that nickname. But yeah, there you go. There's a little bit of trivia for you, Salty.
I love that boss Floki, but nonetheless, moving on. I guess, you know what? I feel that both Kings TV as well as Radhebhai, they have the potential to crack top 8 because the difference between the 8th number player as well as the 10th number player wasn't huge. Like, there was a big gap in the top 3, right? 2,900 by Luffy. That's almost unbeatable at this point. But the fact that Radhebhai still has an opportunity to crack top 8 just makes this game even more interesting. Once again, Bullet Raja couldn't really control his ADS. That has been happening with him for quite a while right now, but his SMG did the trick. He did get his kill for himself, and right now he is on the way. I'm really not sure where Bullet Raja actually stands in terms of the points table, but certainly enough, I guess a lot of these players did put up a good show. I mean, each and every one of these players have had their moments, and even if they're not really making it to the top 8, I felt that in one or the other game, every particular player that has participated in this in this finale, they actually made it to the top 5, top 8, and had some of the other cool moments that they can actually look back on.
Yeah, absolutely. They certainly did, Salty. But yeah, we can have a quick look and see where the circle is going to be formed. And there we go. It's actually going to be a slightly northern favored finish on Bermuda at this time. Bill and Riverside both being part of the circle along with Keratin. Let's see what ends up happening. There's also Bhima Shakti Strip and Peak in there as always. And Pujanok and Factory are being cut through in half. So is Clock Tower. But yeah, I mean, that's what the circle looks like. The question is, though, how many of these players can actually make it to the point where the circle stays relevant? Now, there are only 29 players remaining, and the first circle has shown itself. So, you've seen a fair amount of action brewing out. There's going to be even more because Dragger is fighting against Star, and Star is going to go down. 15 HP to work with. Dragger is so low. I bet he's praying to God that there's some medkits in there so he can heal himself back up. But yeah, without medkits, he could be in a world of trouble. Radhivai will finally take down Purboss, a fight that has been happening for approximately 2 millennia now, is going to finally see its logical conclusion. But yeah, we'll see what ends up happening later on. Ankit, in the meantime, has the M249 saw. Bullet Raja, oh no, Bullet Raja is going to get shot in the head there with the MP5. He's going to go down. That is unfortunate to say the least. But yeah, that circle, it's going to show itself. Rudra, in the meantime, will be able to use the Mag 7 to get himself a couple of kills. And yeah, the action just never seems to stop on Bermuda, Salty. It seems that the circle has ignited a spark in every single player, and everyone is hungry for kills. I wouldn't have it any other way. That's the best kind of grand finals you can ever have. Dragger, he's going to continue chasing Abhi, even though he's the guy who's on low HP. You know, posturing aggressively when you don't have an advantage. Certainly, he knows his psychology, you know, trying to intimidate his enemy into moving away.
Certainly, everyone is aggressive today, I guess. Everyone is in the right state of mind. Rakash getting money kicks because money kicks was quite low in terms of the HP, and then a shotgun, if it strikes, if it touches you, you're dead. Abhi, even though he has guns to counter Dragger, I guess he wouldn't really try and necessarily take the fight. I'm not really sure what his mentality is. Abhi, even in terms of the points table, I'm not really sure where he stands, but Dragger, for certain, he does not have any healings to work with. He has 25 HP left, and he's still brave enough to take a peek and take some shots. He dropped in on peak, and therefore he might actually be able to get inside, you know, pretty deep in the game. But then the grenade pops up from Bullet Raja. It actually bounced off the shield. And at the moment, I guess Bullet Raja will try and get this kill. Rudra will try and block. I'm not really sure what can Raja do at the moment. I guess he will try and rotate all the way, or maybe place a glue wall, and that will allow him to run in closer to the action. Once again, his ADS isn't really perfect. It has happened to him time and time again. Every time he tries to spray, it just goes way beyond control. That is something which has always happened to Bullet Raja, and he suffered on that particular instance. He got away with it once. We saw in this match itself, he got away with it once. But in this instance, he couldn't really do that. Once again, we saw Dragger and Abhi both face off. Evil trying his best. This is going to be his last shot at redemption. We know it for a fact that he is in the 4th place and he is dominating as of yet. The first kit has been conquered. He has 6 first aid kits and 13 glue walls to work with. Certainly a very good number. I'm not really sure if 13 is a lucky number, but certainly it is a very big number.
Yeah, I mean, you know, 13 is said to be the unlucky number for the most part. I mean, as far as I know, some builders and developers even go so far as to not include the 13th floor on the buildings, or the 13th floor in elevators and stuff. So, you know, there's always that. But yeah, I'm not sure if I believe in any of that nonsense. I just think that's a very weird coincidence. But for the time being, Salty, the circle is closing in, and when it closes in, we're going to know exactly who has the advantage and who does not. Of course, Bhima Shakti Strip being the dead center, it's going to be quite advantageous if you manage to find a house there and hold it for a little while longer. That's exactly why the houses in Bhima Shakti Strip are actually quite easy to invade, because it happens to be the center of the map. But yeah, by the time the next circle forms in, at least, we will have a look and see if the circle is going to be favoring Bhima Shakti Strip, or if it's going to be away from it. Usually you see that being in the center rewards you very, very well, as we did on Purgatory, but that is not always the case. Radhibhai, in the meantime, though, Salty, this man is driving his truck around like it's nobody's business. And I have to say, you know, this man, for someone who's reached all the way to the grand finals, he certainly does not give a damn about who spots him, who hears him, or what happens. He is on his own little trip across Bermuda Island, and he is having a gala time, you know, just roaming the map and having fun.
Radhivai is certainly a vibe in itself. I guess he is still courageous enough to drive his truck after his shenanigans in Kalahari. I still remember, at least it is still fresh in my memory how he drived it in the last second. But then this sniper shot was a nutty shot from Abi. He absolutely blew the skull away of Rudra, and that was a statement in itself. Coming back to Radebai's driving skills, I guess we have to discuss it for another day, because this guy is certainly a mad driver.
Yeah, he most certainly is a crazy driver. You know, doesn't really care too much about where he goes and how he ends up there. But Ozef now is going to continue the madness. He's going to be the guy going around in his truck. He sees a monster truck, perhaps an even more attractive option for him to get him, get into and drive around. But he's going to choose not to. He's going to continue with his truck and try to get inside the circle, make all the noise in the world, not really care about what's happening, and yeah, you know, once he gets in the circle, he's gonna have a pretty easy time to stay alive. Now look at Bhima Shakti strip. It is still inside the circle, and that's after two circles have shown themselves. This is why, you know, it is often said that if you're as close as possible to the center of the map, your rotations become easier. Does it actually make a difference in terms of placements? Well, that is debatable, but yeah, most of the time, if you get yourself to the center of the circle, you can survive for a fairly decent amount of time. Well, elsewhere towards factory, three people over here, Salty. Ravi has the woodpecker in his hand, so I'm guessing at this distance, he should be the guy winning all the fights.
Certainly, but I guess with the blue zone shrinking pretty soon, he'll have a tough time, because this is going to be the second blue zone, so definitely the damage is there, and he has only 4 first aid kits to work with. It is definitely decent enough, but I'm not really sure if he would want to use it in terms of healing himself from blue zone damage. He would definitely need it in a final circle fight. But nonetheless, I guess Ravi will try and make his move inside factory, probably escape from the other side of it, because he knows that in this fight there is nothing more to gain. He is going to be better, he's going to be more comfortable when he moves inside the circle. Elsewhere, I guess player number 42 drives another vehicle inside the circle. So once again, we've seen a lot of players just opt for driving inside the circle, because the rotations have been so difficult. Most of the players dropping in edge of the circle and trying to rotate towards center makes rotations that much more difficult. Once again, we get to see Hasim in action. It's Asim in action. Nonetheless, he is up against player number 4, and it is going to be Abhi, who has been really, really good with the sniper rifle. But there's an opening, there's a window, and certainly Asim can throw some bullets on him. Abhi definitely would have missed a shot with the sniper rifle, even if he had attempted, but he couldn't really, because Asim was just way too fast. But there you go. Asim and Evil once again meet. I guess this is a match made in heaven. The stars really align for these two players. Once again, it is Valentine's Day. I don't really think there is a lot of love between them, but certainly there is a lot of war. And the war, for now, is going to be the battle of the top spot.
Yeah, it seems to be quite ironic that on a day like Valentine's Day, we see teams fighting each other and, just being at each other's throats. But, we keep that juxtaposition aside, and we're going to focus on the action on our hands. Evil, in the meantime, is just going to bide his time in this little house. No real incentive for him to walk out there and reveal his position. Bhima Shakti strip, of course, is still being relevant in the third circle, but yeah, eventually the circle is probably going to move towards an open area, so the number of glue walls you have are going to be very, very, very important. We'll see what happens though. Asim, I like the set of abilities he's using. He has an ability that increases his grenade damage and explosion radius. So if he actually manages to find a grenade launcher, or conserve those grenades towards the late game, if he forces someone's time turner, he can definitely make good use of that ability and get himself a couple of extra kills.
Yeah, at the moment, I guess TC, he's quite close to Dragger, and this L-shaped compound, we've seen this time in and time again. This never really helps you in terms of moving forward, considering the fact that this house is just so open from all directions. Just look at how many windows it has on the ground floor, and on the top it is completely open terrace. Even though if you can actually block out the staircase, then you might actually have something to play with. But apart from that, I guess, especially when a squad rushes at you in such a compound, it gets really, really difficult to hold. Nonetheless, we're talking about IDFC Yash right now, and he has few of the players right in front of him. And by players, I mean it is going to be player number 20, who does provide a lot of resistance, and I'm not really sure why he didn't really put up a lot of gunshots. Coming up Annai, though, trying his own bit to take down SNTFF, who throws in a grenade, does miss though, but then coming up Annai is up there with his MP40, taking on the head of his opposition and finally making his way inside the fourth circle. Right now, he needs to find a way to move even closer and even deeper inside the circle, even deeper inside the map.
Yeah. I mean, the fourth circle has shown itself salty, and it's not going to be towards Bhima Shakti Strip. It's going to go further down south near Clock Tower and towards a little area near Pochanok to the top left, or to the left of Peak. But yeah, there's only one real compound over here, and Uzef is sitting inside of it. Now, the next circle could betray him. You know, he could very easily have a very irrelevant location given the current position of all the team members. If you see, the blue zone is close towards where he is, so there are not going to be a lot of players coming in from the south, so his positioning is not going to be the best in the world. But yeah, if he continues to hold there, and if he gets lucky and he's going to be inside the next circle, then yeah, he can most certainly stay alive and you know, try and keep himself in there. Now, for the time being, Radhivai is going to box himself in. He has a lot of glue walls to surround himself with, but oh no, Kallu. Well, I'm not quite sure what kind of joke I can make here. I was trying to think of one, but yeah, I was thinking that maybe I can call him Kallu Mama, you know, similar to Shakuni Mama. But yeah, that's never gonna happen, and I couldn't come through with that one on time. But X-Mania, in the meantime, he might be able to come through on this map. He needs to get himself a fair amount of points to break into the top 8. If he can get to top 5 or top 4 here, I think he should be able to secure himself a spot, because he was not that far. He was in 11th place, and from 11th to 8th is not a huge climb of points. But yeah, X-Mania, he certainly does not want to be the guy who ends up being eliminated. So let's see if he's actually able to get himself in the top 8. Coming up Annai in the meantime, he's going to have his medium range rifle to work with. Uzef, his compound is still relevant as ever with 17 seconds remaining on the clock. But the next circle, it's going to be the great equalizer. No one is going to have any advantage. Actually, player number 6 still might, because he's still holding that compound. So yeah, he certainly could have the advantage, but when the zone starts moving in, he will be forced to move. So he needs to capitalize on the advantage as quickly as he can. Rocky, though, being a master juker, is going to be able to dodge those grenades and get himself back to safety. But yeah, it seems that Subin is just bidding him goodbye and trying to get deeper inside the circle. The MP40 at this range might be able to do a fair amount of work. The time turner gets popped. Only 50 HP remaining on Rocky. He can't even heal himself. The blue zone's eventually going to kill him. And NXS Rocky will be eliminated. Subin, though, he needs to get in there. 2 glue walls remaining. He also has 11 med kits. And that glue wall, is it going to be enough? No, he's not inside the zone. He's going to have to heal himself back up, and he's going to be completely exposed. Can he get himself to cover? Yes, he can. No, he cannot. X-Mania is actually the one who finds that kill. And Uzef, in the meantime, he is going to be looking out for every one of these players. Okay, he's able to get himself one particular kill, but can he continue to find more? There are 3 players still remaining here in the mix. Player number 9, 18, and 6. And X-Mania has the Max 7 in his hand. At close range, we all know just how devastatingly destructive that weapon can be. Great rate of fire for having something that classifies as a shotgun, but yeah, I guess that's just the realm of free fire. 2 glue walls to work with. This time around, he's quite happy, and he also has some utility. So not everything is... I mean, the stars are aligning here for X-Mania. He still has 1 more glue wall to work with. If he can close the distance, he can actually make his Max 7 work, but the time turner is going to be forced from Uzef. Now, the question is, does X-Mania have his own time turner? The answer is yes, he does. Uzef, he's eventually going to have to go in, and when he does, he will be exposed to the Max 7 from X-Mania, and he will be able to find the kill at last. X-Mania, after long, hard 6 games, he's able to find a booyah on the 7th one, and he will finally win it out. Salty, this man, he has done so much work. He has worked so hard to get here, and finally he will be able to secure himself the booyah. I am pretty sure that puts him in the top 8. For the rest, though, I can't really say. We're going to have a look at the scoreboard, because I don't quite remember everyone's positioning. Now, I do remember Sidon's being on top, or whatever his name was. I think he had a DACE towards the end of his name. He was in the top spot last time around, but has he maintained that position? I think that's the more important question to ask, because if he got eliminated pretty early on, then yes, position is going to be up for the taking. But with the lead he established for himself, he probably should be sitting close to the top at the very least. Money kicks though, unfortunate for him, he got eliminated fairly early on, and I don't think he's actually managed to crack the top 8. Could be wrong though. Gonna wait till the leaderboard show to pass judgment on that, because yeah, I mean, with so many players and so many scores, it's kind of hard to keep track of everything. But Salty, I have to say, this game, Radhebhai, he certainly did not care too much about what happened to him. He was casually driving his car in at some point. He did finish the first fight off at the very start and got himself in there, but yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. Let's see if he can find some redemption though. If he is indeed the Radhebhai Crips told me he is, then he's going to have an opportunity to come out on top and win potentially lakhs and lakhs of rupees, but let's see if that actually ends up happening.
Certainly, I guess the way Radhebhai has been playing, he deserves a lot more, I guess. He is probably one of the most non-serious competitors in this entire grand final. It doesn't really matter. His gameplay is almost as good as everyone else, or probably even better. Kamina Pannai has really proven himself. I really wonder if he's where he is in the points table, because he deserves a spot in that top 8. Kallu, he has been very, very good in the final matches. I really love the way he has improved over the course of time, I would say, because he wasn't really that influential in the first few games, but then later on he was just so much more impactful. Sobin, once again, it was a very sad death because he had no clue wars but 11 first aid kits. I mean, imagine having 11 first kits but not being able to use even one of them. X-Mania, with whatever he had, he used it to perfection. The way he got close to Ozef was absolutely brilliant. And now this is Ozef, a player who was at a point, I guess after 2 or 3 games, he was at the top of the leaderboards. And right now, I have no idea where he is. Probably because of few bad performances he has been taken down. Okay, so he's in 3rd position. But Asim, he's at the top with a huge lead. Luffy at 2nd. Ankit at 99, very deservedly. Evil is there very deservedly. Mr. Brackets is out there, and that does surprise me. Kallu is there as well. And so is X-Mania with 50 points. With a lead of 50 points over Subin, he makes it.
Absolutely, Salty. These are going to be the players that make it to the grand finals of Dios. And yes, you're absolutely right. That is indeed quite insane. Especially for X-Mania, man. This guy, he was struggling since the very start of the tournament, or since the very start of the game, to be honest, to get into the top 8. But it seems that he was able to make the most of it, and his performance in the final game secured him a spot in the top 8 with just, a hair's breadth. 50 points is the reason he's able to find himself in the top 8. But that's going to be it for today, folks. You guys are watching MediaTek Presents the Free Fire Gaming Masters, powered by JioGames, and me and Salty. Well, I think Salty's probably going to bid farewell because Crips is going to be back on the 17th of February. So we're going to take a small holiday of 2 days and be back on 17th with some more duos action. If you don't want to miss out on that, make sure you bookmark the page and make sure you're able to tune in when it matters. But yeah, me and Salty, we're going to bid farewell and we're going to see you guys around.
Introducing the MediaTek Dimensity 800U. Get ready for incredible experiences from this ultra-connected chip. Featuring dual 5G SIM for 5G connectivity that's always ready to go. High-quality voice and video calls. 5G carrier aggregation that keeps you connected. By keeping the 5G modem in the chip,